Hello, everyone, and welcome to the insanely mega marker flip iceberg. Now, this is a thing I've been working on with a group of people for the last couple days, and I think it is pretty much done. Guarantee, even if you are not invested in the marker flip community at all and you're watching this video, kind of just maybe you clicked on it on a YouTube recommended, or you used to flip and someone recommended this video to you. I welcome you to this massive list. Or if you're a well-established marker flipper who has maybe even helped out with this, thank you for helping. I'd like to give a credit to a couple people before I start going through this. I'm going to give a big credit to the people that helped me the most with this project. My friend Cam, my friend Harry, and my friend Duncan. You guys were the biggest helps with this list, and many other people, so if I didn't say your name there, don't be worried. You're in my mind, definitely, when I'm thinking about this massive list. Oh, and I'd like to give a big shout out to Brandon for coming up with this idea in the first place. And yeah, I'm going to be dissecting every single one of these things on this list, and yeah, this is going to be a long one, so buckle up, get ready, get your popcorn out, kick your feet up, just enjoy this huge video. Now, I will say some of the topics I'm going to be talking about, especially towards the bottom tiers, are going to be a little disturbing. So maybe if you are watching this in public or you're with your family, maybe turn down the audio or put some earbuds in. Especially when it gets towards the bottom, I don't think you would want your parents or anyone hearing that. Maybe you don't care. I don't know. It's not the worst things in the world, but I would just recommend it. So, okay, this is tier 1. Now, we're going to start off with the most simple of them all, expos. Even if you don't flip markers and you're tuning in this video, I'm sure you know what an expo is. It is the standard marker for marker flipping. The standard dimensions of a marker is expo markers. Now, there are different types of markers, like highlighters and Crayolas, and you may have heard of those too. And they have different dimensions, and you can kind of do different flips depending on the dimensions of those. But expo is your standard, standard marker. Standard dimensions, standard everything. And you can stack them, you can empty them out, make them hollow, and yeah, we'll get into some of that stuff. So, there are 4 major categories to marker flipping. Stacks, marker on markers, multis, cap/tips. So a stack is when you stack markers on top of each other and flip the markers. So, let's just say you stack 3 markers on top of each other, that's a 3 stack. Let's say you stack 3 markers on top of each other and do 1 rotation around, that's a full stack. A normal stack is just half rotation. I'll put a video up on the screen right now of a half stack and a full stack. And then you can even get up to like five rotations, which we will call quintuple. Like, you can get really high up. And stacks are by far the most popular category in flipping and the most impressive to look at from the neutral. Let me play some stacks right here. Don't these look crazy to you? I think that is why they're the most popular category. Marker on markers are exactly how they sound. It is a marker being flipped on top of another marker. Now, you could cross marker brands. So you could do a Crayola marker flip on top of an Expo marker flip. Or an Expo on top of a Crayola. Highlighter on top of... Here, I'll show you all 3 of the shapes of them. These are the 3 shapes of highlighter, Expo, and Crayola. And you can do some funky variations with markers on top of markers in that situation. So yeah, that's marker on markers. Multis. Now, multis are a category where you flip a marker multiple rotations in a row. So like 4 in a row double rotation marker flip, or 2 in a row sextuple rotation marker flip. That's 6 rotations. And multis are one of my favorites because they can, there's no cap to them. Like, you can always just land more and more of the multi-rotation that you're trying. So yeah, cap/tips and multis are basically the same thing, but instead of it being on the bottom of the marker, it's on the cap or the tip. And the tip is when you take the cap off, you see the little ink tube tip, and you yank the tip out. That is what a cap/tip is. Next up is @flip_duh. Now, flip_duh was probably the Michael Jordan of flipping. That sounds so fucking cringe to say, right? But back in the day when flip_duh used to flip back in 2017, 2018, he was considered the best by far in terms of him with the competition he was surrounded with. He was, obviously, just like sports, back in the day, flips weren't as hard as, flips nowadays. So maybe he definitely, I don't think he'd be able to do it in today's day and age, at least not to the consistency that he did back in the day, but that's not a diss at all. He was very, very good for his time, and he's considered the GOAT, I guess, the greatest of all time in terms of skill ahead of the time. Now, I'll talk about someone else who is considered the GOAT currently, but he's also in here, but we'll talk about that soon. That's Amazing. Now, you may have seen That's Amazing's bottle full of videos on YouTube. They're a very popular YouTube channel. And they were pioneers to a lot of marker flip categories. I didn't tell you guys this, but you can actually mix these categories into subcategories. You can do a multi-stack, like 5.0 rotation 3, which appears twice here. You can do multi-marker on markers, double flip marker on marker, which no one really does, but you could. You could do a marker on marker stack, like a 2 stack on top of a 1 stack. You could do a cap/tip marker on marker. No, you can't do that. You could do a cap/tip stack, and you could do a multi-cap/tip. So, yeah. But That's Amazing was a YouTuber who, he kind of changed the way, it was like two YouTubers, like they were siblings, Matthew and Tommy, and they kind of changed the way flips were when it comes to different categories. Like multi-stacks and multis were created literally just by them. So they shaped the community, and they are well past marker flipping. They do a lot of other stuff now, but yeah, they were pretty good. Okay, so these 3 people here, Fish, Trick Shots, Extras, Clemson, Luke, and Galaxy, you've probably maybe seen before on your For You page on TikTok or maybe on Instagram Reels or YouTube. They are the 3 most popular flippers when it comes to following count. Galaxy has over 100,000 followers. Clemson Luke has 55.4 thousand followers. And Fish, Trick Shots, Extras, 47,000 followers. So those are the 3 most popular flippers in terms of following counts. When Flipda flipped, he had about 10,000 followers. But at the time, that was a lot for the marker flip community. Next up, we have David Coplin. Now, David Coplin is considered the best flipper in the entire, of all time. In terms of just pure flips that he's landed. He has landed the best flip of all time multiple times. He is up there at number 1 on the rankings. I'll pull up the official rankings right now. My name is Griffin. You can see me I think I'm at 5. So I'm currently ranked number 5. So I'll give myself a nice little shout out, pat on the back there for that. But David Coplin is number 1, and I don't think anybody will ever even touch him. He is pretty securely up there. But yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe someone can. Giraffe Trick Shots 25 is one of the most consistently good flippers of all time. Back when Flipda was the best, I wasn't even anywhere near Flipda. I was still starting out. David Coplin was also still starting out. Flipda was way better than everyone else at the time, but if you were to pick a clear second, it would be Giraffe Trick Shots. And the fact that Giraffe Trick Shots actually still flips to this date, he is ranked number 4 on the top list. His name is Jack, you see that there? Now, some people think that opinion is kind of inaccurate, but I don't know. That'll be up to the diehard community members to really decide that placement. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Giraffe Trick Shots 25 is one of the most popular and well-known flippers. He has a YouTube channel where he's really good at Geometry Dash as well, and he has multiple videos with. He has 1 million. I think he has 20 million views on a video. So yeah, he is very, very, very good. It's amazing. Anybody on here, shout out to them, unless it's a bad thing. All right, next up we have Cap on Cap. Now this is like the most legendary flip you can land. It is an Expo Cap on top of another Expo Cap. So like, take an Expo Cap right now, balance it vertically, take another, balance it upside down on top where the 2 little tips connect. That is a Cap on Cap. That is the most legendary flip. It's not the hardest flip, but that flip was very, very, it's like an essential flip. It's the flip to land, and once you land that, it's like, okay, wow, you're actually not bad. Like, you will be able to start going. And it was first ever by Flipda, but maybe it wasn't. We'll get to that later in the Iceberg. We don't know yet. Okay, next up, iPad case. So an iPad case is the best surface for cap/tips. And yeah, it's basically just a magnetic iPad case. Here, I'll put a picture up. And yeah, on the felted side of that iPad case, that is where you land like a full flip cap or full flip tip or something like that. And it's just a very surface level surface. Next up, we have Luck. Now, Luck has shaped the community in an immense amount of ways. So, since it's a marker flip, right, you can kind of just chuck something up and land it. Like, you literally could. And that's where Luck comes into play. Now, Sometimes there will be instances of people trying 5 in a row of something and they'll get 8. Or people they'll try 2 in a row and they'll get 4, or 4 in a row and they'll get 6. Luck is very, 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 it's a thing that we tend to not really judge when comparing people in skill. So if someone lands a flip that's entirely luck, then they can post it to their account, it'll be cool, but it won't add to their skill level because luck isn't raw skill. Now, you definitely could make the argument that you have to have raw skill to get lucky, which I 100% agree. There's a really weird line with luck, and I think luck in this community is really different compared to other communities, just based on how luck affects flips in certain ways, you know what I mean? So yeah. Alright, box book clipboard. This is the surface for stacks. You can get, obviously... Oh, I forgot to say, iPad cases are also paired with macro markers as well, and multis are paired with magazines. But box book clipboard is you get a box lid, you put a book on top, and then a clipboard. That is a surface for stacks. If you want to get into flipping and you want to do a 4 stack, or you want to do you're working up in stacks, you use box book clipboard. You can obviously alter that in certain ways. You can do box book cover clipboard, box book cover paper clipboard, but box book clipboard is generally the surface that you're going to do, and box book clipboard has a ring to it. Box book clipboard, that is the surface to use by far. At Marker Flip. Now, this is the official Marker Flip feature page back when Marker Flip was currently active. It was a random dude who was running the account. Got over 100,000 followers at one point on Instagram. You may have seen it if you were on Instagram in 2016, 2017. But yeah, Marker Flip. Very popular account. It's not active anymore. It went inactive in 2017 consistently. I mean, they had some posts in 2018 and some posts in maybe even 2020, but they're not really that active anymore. Armies. Now, back in the day, 2016, 2017, I'm so sorry that I haven't even given a time range. Flipping started in late 2016. That's when it started. And it's still going 2024. I'm currently recording this on June 29, 2024. So, yeah, it's still going. And it's not really that popular anymore. Not as much popular as it used to be. But armies were the thing back in the day. You would have these group chats on Instagram back in 2016, 2017, 2018. They're basically the best, maybe 15, 20 flippers are in the first army. That's if you make it to the first army, you're in the group of the elites, the best flippers. Then there's the second army, third army, fourth army, and so on and so forth. Now, after fourth army, it's not really official anymore. I'm pretty sure officially the first, second, and third army are the only official armies created by the Market Flip account. Now, these army chats, obviously, depending on your skill, if you're second army worthy, you could get added to the second army. And once you're added to the second army, you're in that army, you're with that group, and that's the group of people that are on your skill level, and there's a group chat, and you guys can encourage each other to flip and do all that stuff. First army is the best army. It's typically the top 20 flippers are in the first army, so yeah. Now, getting into the second tier is going to get into a bit more. You kind of probably don't know any of them if you're not a part of the community. You kind of really need to be a part of the community to really understand these. So, yeah, I think once I get to deep tier, I'm going to stop referring to these things as trying to educate you guys and kind of just explain what the situation or thing that is there entails. Okay, so first up we have ONS. ONS was a flipper back in 2017 who faked a lot of flips with magnets. Now we're just getting onto the fake flips. And as you can see right underneath them, magnets and glue. People have faked flips using magnets and glue. That is the most common way you'll see someone fake a flip. Now, some people will video edit the video and cut the clip. So let's just say you're trying 2 in a row. And in between the first and the second one, they'll cut the clip and try and make it sync up with the second one. So it looks like you did 2 in a row. But other than that, magnets and glue are the easiest ways to fake and the most common ways to fake. People have tried to fake, I would literally say millions of times. So many fake flips have been landed and tried to be passed off as legit. People don't really do that anymore, but back in the day it was very common. And ONS was the pioneer of that. He did a lot of flips that were fake. But most of the flips that he has faked back in the day have been done real to this day. I say most because some of the stuff he did was absurd. He did the side of a nickel on top of the side of another nickel with magnets. That is not physically possible. No one will ever land that. And maybe flipping will go on for another 50 years and someone will land that. If so, comment on this video. Congrats. But I don't think that ever will be landed because they're smooth size. Maybe with two other coins, but I don't know. Okay. Magazines, they're the go-to service for multis. That's really all I gotta say. Okay, Cam's luck. If you looked at the flipper list, currently Cam is sat at number 3, and he was one of these people back in the day, in 2019. He's the most infamous lucky flipper, where a lot of his flips were quote-unquote luck. But no, Cam is a really good flipper, and he just had a spell of where he got pretty lucky, and it became a very big meme in the community, and yeah, that's basically all I really have to say about that. Cam doesn't really get as lucky in flips as he does anymore. That title goes to Tyler. We'll talk about him later, definitely. But yeah, Cam's luck, it's just a meme. He got really lucky in flips, whatever though, right? Okay, House Party. This was the app that people used to use to call. Discord existed back in this time, 2017, I'm pretty sure, but no one used it. No one used Discord. People just used House Party. And if you used House Party back in the day, you probably have. House Party was a goated app, bro. They need to bring it back because it was awesome. But yeah, House Party is just, people would get on there, they would, flip together, and people would do combos as well, where it's like someone lands something, and then another person lands something at the same time, and it's like, oh, we did a combo. Yeah, that's kind of what House Party is. It's just a video chatting software that people used to use. Already covered Magnets and Glue. Sam's Impossible List. Now, Sam Korn is one of the pioneers of the market flip community in terms of keeping track of records and stuff. He's definitely not the biggest. I'll give a shout out to this guy named Alpha Trickshots and Ryan Benson, or Ryan Epic Flip Out. Those two people are the people that are really in charge with keeping track of things in the community, which has been very helpful. And same with Swatufers. He has an entire archive Discord server. Some people will have flips that they landed a long time ago, and they deleted all their posts. It's his job to, recover those videos. And, yeah, it allows for rare videos to come up, which are pretty cool. But Sam made an impossible list, right? He was the pioneer of keeping track of records. That was all him. He doesn't really do it anymore. But he made a list back in the day. I don't know. I think it might have been 2018. And it said, flips that will never be landed. And it was just like a bold statement. He was like, these flips will never be landed. And he posted the list. And he said, I wonder if this list will ever be completed. No one knows. And recently, I think 2 months ago as I'm recording this, all the flips in that list have been landed. I'll show all the flips here. Those are all the flips that, he had to land in order to, finish the list. And it was a community-based effort, and everybody came together and really tried to make this list finished. And it was finished. He recently made a part 2, but I don't think those flips will be landed. Some of them are absurd. He made it when he was drunk as well, and he put some absolutely, in his first impossible list, he still made it a room where it could be possible, but unlikely. Nico's gotta go. So this is the first ever, not the first ever, but this is the biggest and most popular instance of someone getting canceled in the market flip community. Nico, from 2016 all the way up to about 2021, would always fake flips with magnets and glue, and even cut. He would cut his clips sometimes. And he was very infamous for that. No one believed him. Boy who cried wolf. And some people still don't believe his real flips that he's done to this day. I'll leave that to controversy within the community. But I rest my case. He did a lot of fake flips. And after that, people just had enough with him, and he got completely canceled because he tried to fake the world's first full flip 11 stack, which is full markers. 11 markers full flipped. If you were paying attention earlier in the video with the stacks, you understand what full 11 means. And he faked it, and he got canceled. People made canceling videos. Sam and Paul Malone, who will pop up later in this tier list, got canceled. They canceled him for that, and yeah, he was just gone. Book tower. So this is an old 2017 thing that people used to do, where they would land flips and stack a book on top of the flip they land, and then land another flip on top of the book. Now, people don't really do this anymore. People tend to just get rid of the book and flip markers on top of markers on top of markers, but not in the way that they used to do book towers. Book towers, you would have to land every single thing quintessentially in a row in order to land the flip on top, and they were very popular in 2017. We should bring them back, guys. As me to you guys, let's bring them back. Come on, those are pretty cool. Imagine a cap on cap and then the marker on top. Dude, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a cap on cap. I'm gonna put a book on top, and I'm gonna land a half flip. That would be fucking awesome. No, dude, I'm doing that. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked a bit for the people that don't really know much about market flipping. But yeah, a book tower is basically just that. AJW flips. He was A lot of the people in this list are OG flippers that were pretty popular. AJW Flips was a very cool, chill, mellow flipper. Not much to really say about him. He was a good flipper back in the day, back in 2017. He landed some really good flips. I feel like that one's kind of irrelevant. Same with typical trick shots. This guy was pretty good. He landed the most bottle cap flips in a row. And if you guys couldn't tell, marker flipping stemmed from bottle flipping. Bottle flipping made marker flipping. Because once people started flipping bottles, people started flipping other objects, and markers became the next one, which is why we're here. And he was really good at marker flipping. He for the time, early 2017, late 2016. He got thousands of subscribers, and yeah, he was kind of just like an old, really good player, like a really good Season 1 Fortnite player that quit and hasn't been seen since. Typically like that. Nathan.clips9, I'm pretty sure that was Nathan's username. If you look at the marker flipper list, Nathan was 2, and Nathan's name is Nathan.trickshots. I'll ask Nathan if he wants me to include that in the video. I don't know if he does. I'll mute it, but that was his old username back in the day. Basically, that's all it has to do. By the way, the marker flip community is based on Instagram. So if you ever want to come to the community, don't post your flips on YouTube. No one will really see it. Come to Instagram. Follow the big flippers. Follow me. Follow Cam. Just go through the list of the top flippers and just follow them, and you'll be noticed quick. And yeah, we're welcoming. I promise. Just please don't annoy people. Just be normal. Potato Box 900 fake cap on cap. So as I stated previously, cap on cap, first ever by Flipta. The most iconic flip in history. It was done in 2018, first ever. So we'd been flipping for 2 years, and people faked so many cap on caps before Flipta's confirmed real cap on cap. So that we consider that one first ever because it was the first ever confirmed. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, he got second ever, but people immediately called it fake because it was done only like a day later, I'm pretty sure. I think it was done actually maybe the exact same day, but I'll have to fact check that. But he got it, and everyone called it fake. And he was like, what the fuck, man? So he ended up having to do it again. And when he got it again, it was fourth ever. So 2 other people had landed it before him after that. But he did get the second ever cap on cap because it was found out to actually be real. But everyone called it fake back in the day. So yeah, that's why fake is in parentheses. But yeah, or quotations, sorry. But yeah. Next up, OG Elias. Elias was the best at stacks back in 2017. He pushed the limits. He got 12 stack and full 7. 2 very legendary. If you have landed the tallest stack at one point, first ever, you're already in history. Because first person landed 1 stack, 2 stack, all the way up to 18, which is the current highest stack. 18 markers stacked on top of each other. I'll play a clip right now. Doesn't that seem impossible? Yeah. That was Draft Trick Shots 25, by the way. But OG Elias, yeah, he got first ever full 7 and 12 stack, and he was just really, really good at stacks back in 2017. Considered one of the best of the best. Okay, Frisbee. Many marker flippers quit marker flipping to do Frisbee trick shots, and because of that, there's a big beef between Frisbee trick shots and marker flipping. There's been feuds on it. People have been attacked, like, verbally on the internet for, like, you fucking bitch, you do Frisbee, you... stuff like that. And it's just kind of dumb, in my opinion. It's a dumb rivalry. I don't hate people that do Frisbee trick shots. They're cool. But the flipping community is way more alive than the Frisbee trick shot community, believe it or not. Same with Geometry Dash. A lot of flippers quit to play Geometry Dash, and I was kind of one of them. I stopped flipping to play Geometry Dash, and I became really good at Geometry Dash. I became like top 700 in the world at one point on Pointer Crate. You can follow my account Griffin128. I think it's the username is like Griffin1289, like the @ sign on YouTube. You can watch my old flip videos too in the unlisted tab on that channel, but you could also watch my Geometry Dash videos if you want. Yeah, many marker flippers have a culture of playing Geometry Dash. A lot of them play Geometry Dash on the side, so Geometry Dash is a big culture aspect in the flipping community. Not everyone does it, but some people do, and it's a good way to make friends. Like, if you're not really that good at flipping, but you're good at Geometry Dash, you can make friends with really good flippers who are also really good at Geometry Dash, and it builds a community. It's cool. FlipCon. Now, this is the thing that happens once every year where a bunch of marker flippers meet up. Now, FlipCon is kind of a misleading name because it's not an open event. It's an invite-only event. The top flippers usually all meet up and invite other friends that they've made. And yeah, we can get up to 10 people. That was the last one. Here's a picture of all of them. It was really crazy. And yeah, FlipCon, it's fun. I was there. I was that kid over there, the far left of the picture on the railing. But yeah. Okay, empty rule. Now, the empty rule states that on stacks, you can have markers hollowed out in the stack as long as it is less than 50% of the stack. So, except 2 stacks. So, for example, if you have a 4 stack, 2 empties on the top, 2 hollow markers on the top would be 50%, so that would not count. But 1 empty, yes. 6 stack, you can have 2 empties, but you can't have 3 because that'll be 50%. 7 stack, you can have 3 empties, but not 4 because 4 would be more than 50%. So, yeah, exactly. You can kind of do the math in your head. So, what would the max amount of empties you could use on 14 be? I'll let you think for a sec. It would be 6 because 7 would be 50%. So, it just has to be less than 50% for it to count. GTA Shots is a funny troll account I made with a 3-headed dog stuffed animal where I posted flips. That's basically all there is to it. GTA Shots legendary. CS.Clips was the first person to land a marker flip. Maybe, well, actually, no. First ever expo flip. We'll get into that deeper later down. But yeah, first ever marker flip. Towers. Now, this was a thing we did where we would do like a marker on marker, right? But a marker on marker on marker. So it would be a marker on 2 markers on top of each other already. And it would be without holding the bottom marker. And you can get really creative with this. There's like a whole language with it. Like, you could do like a skinny expo. It's like a skinny pen. You could hollow that out. Do it on a highlighter cap. 4-story tower. ESE 3BST, or no, ESE 4ST. And you're like, what the fuck did I just say? I'm like, exactly. There's like abbreviations to this shit, and it was insane. But yeah, towers were a very big trend in quarantine, and I mean, they're cool, I guess, but no one really does them anymore. Old expos. Now, this is the best type of marker, I think. These are the old, like 1970, 1980s models of expo, and the thing that makes these really good is that the shells of the markers were thick, which allowed them to not bounce as much, and the ink tubes also would allow it to not bounce as much, which I'm sure you can imagine is good for flipping. Less bounce means better. So yeah, basically it was the best marker. And Arteza is the last marker. It's like Expo, but the dimensions are slightly different. I think the bottoms are thicker, but these markers are really good for stacks.
Hey guys, this is Liam, one of the editors. So Griffin didn't say this, but there are actually different types of markers that are the exact same as Arteza markers, but they just have different labels. Like the caps are the same, the bottoms are the same. The entire marker is the same, just they have different brands. I'll flash them on screen real quick. Yeah, so I don't really know why they make those. Why there's like different markers that have the same like dimensions and stuff, like they're the exact same. But yeah, I don't really know why they make those. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Okay, that was top tiers 1 and 2. We're going to scroll down now to the first part where we get underwater. And I think for this, I'm going to start talking a little bit more towards the community in a way. It's gonna, because if I talk about it to the average person, it's just gonna sound like a bunch of people, right? But that's fine. We're just gonna talk about this, I guess, to the community. And maybe people that are kind of invested in flipping but don't really know much anymore. Justin Clark. Justin Clark is friends with Clemson Luke. And this is a child who, he did a lot of fake flips when he started out flipping, but he did some real ones too. Like, he got some good flips. He got tip on cap and some other stuff, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he was a good flipper, but he became really good friends with Clemson Luke, who we'll talk about later in this video. But yeah, he's just like there's huge lore behind Clemson Luke and Justin Clark that I could make a whole fucking separate iceberg about, man. But we're gonna kind of just skip over him a bit, just so we can kind of talk about other stuff. David's 12 cap. So David landed a 12 stack cap, but when he did the half flip 12 stack cap, he held onto the stack of markers a little too long. There's a thing called drops, which there's no line that's drawn. So you can call it dumb. There's no lines that are drawn on what is too droppy or not. But a drop stack is just a stack that is held on too long. It's mainly up to community perception. And David's 12 stack cap, he held onto the marker just slightly too long. It doesn't count by the majority of the community, but some people do. If it counted, it would probably be the best flip ever. Maybe not the best, but one of the top 3 best flips of all time, which is why it's up here. IKEA Perfect. Now, he was an Asian flipper from Taiwan who was really peculiar because he would always do a lot of flips on his floor. Like, he just said, man, fuck boxbook clipboard, fuck iPic case, I'm going to do the flips on my fucking floor. And he was not bad. He landed, like, highlight or cap on cap. And that's, like, not an easy flip. That's really good. Yeah, he was very funny, too. He'd make music and stuff for people, and he didn't really speak English. So, I don't know. He was a meme. He was a huge meme in the market flip community. And I miss him, dude. He's gone. I don't know where he is. Okay, Cam the Savage. Cam is, the third best flipper according to the flipper list, and he changed his username from Cam to Can as a joke, and his username was stolen by someone. I'm not going to say who, but if you're a part of the community, you know. And yeah, so his username is just Can the Savage, even though his name is Cam. Yeah, that's basically it. Empty bounce-ups. So empty bounce-ups were a trend done where people would flip an empty marker and have them bounce off the side and back up. And people took this to a whole nother level. Back-to-back quadruple empty bounce-up was landed by Ryan Epic Flip Out, which is fucking crazy. I don't even know how. I've never really dabbled into the empty bounce-up trend besides maybe back-to-back double empty bounce-up tip. But other than that was years ago. It's like a miscellaneous category that people do for fun sometimes, and I think they're cool. I think people definitely could expand upon them. Back-to-back cap on cap. Now, this is my most legendary flip of all time that I've landed, so I felt like I should probably put it on here, just, It's basically cap on cap, but 2 in a row. Now, I was the first person to do it. As of right now, 4 people have done it, but I was the first, and I did it 2 years before anyone else even came close. Or maybe it was 3 years before anybody. It was the second most ahead of the flip time. Actually, when I landed it was the most ahead of the flip time. But then, we'll talk about another flip on this Iceberg that came after back-to-back cap on cap, which was landed 48 hours after, which was even better, and a lot better. And it has to do with this thing right here. Luck. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, so I had my best ever. Only a handful of flippers can say that they've landed the best ever. You could probably count them on your hand. And I was one of them for 48 hours. I'll take it, right? I'll take it. Sky Whites. Now, this is a different marker brand, and I'm pretty sure you can only get them in Europe. There's this flipper named Amir, which he's here too. Amir Gaming, I know. He's a flipper, but this is besides the point. He didn't have expert markers, so we started doing flips with Sky Whites for years, and it was really weird because no one else had these fucking markers, so no one could really say how good these flips were. He now has expos, and he doesn't use the Sky Whites anymore. But none of his flips counted for a long time because they weren't with traditional markers. But yeah, fair play. Bacon Dot Flip. This is just a random flipper who, right now his name is Connor. He stole the username from another kid. And Connor is like the most muscular fucking dude I've ever seen. This is what he looks like, and he's 16. I think he's 17 now. But holy shit. He is so strong. I don't know why I included him, low-key. But he's pretty cool. He's a nice guy. Connor, if you're watching this, comment and let me know what your next bench PR is going to be. Okay, Cam and Ryan beef. I've mentioned both of these people, and they recently had a big beef on Instagram. And it was, they just had a beef. Talking about a lot of stuff, and yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah, it was a lot of random shit. I don't really remember or recall what it was, but yeah, they had beef. Okay, next up is Lucas Mason. Now, Lucas Mason was a flipper who was really good for a short amount of time, and he kind of just came out of nowhere, and he started landing really good flips and climbing up the ranks. Now, there is some controversy around Lucas Mason. I'll talk about it once I get to it. But yeah, he actually had potential to be one of the best flippers of all time, I think, if he continued, but something happened. We'll talk about that later. Top 5 of the week. Now, this was an account started in 2020, maybe 2019, I'm pretty sure. Ran by Sam, and he basically posted the top 5 best flips landed of that week. And he would do months, too. It still is running, but by a different person, and it's still the same thing. But it's just ran by a different person. But this was the original spearheaded of the account. It was a pretty cool idea, and I liked it. Pedophiles. Okay, so flipping community is primarily based with kids, right? I'm 18, so I'm not a kid anymore, but my whole childhood I would flip markers, and I was a kid. And I encountered quite a bit of experiences with pedophiles. I don't know, other people have too. Some pedophiles that come off the top of my head. SGP Superhawks fan or whatever. No Zip Code, Kenneth Udit. Very common pedophiles. Yeah, it's just really fucked, man. I'm sure everyone's had their failed share with them. Okay, I'm going to move on because that's a dark topic, and we're not even that deep in the iceberg yet. .jc.ccc. This is David's new username, and the thing about it is he changed his name because he didn't want people from his school to find his microflip accounts. It was just really random. People woke up one day, and David Copland's account was gone. No one knew what his name was. I was like, what the fuck? But people were like, oh, it's just .jc.ccc. Kind of weird, but whatever. Ethan's double six. Now, Ethan landed the world's first double rotation six stack. I was at his house. I saw him land it. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? That was awesome. But it doesn't count because of the empty rule that we talked about earlier. He used 4 empties, which is even more than 50%. That's a lot of empties. And so therefore it doesn't count. But he would have landed the world's first double six stack if he'd got it with 2 empties instead of 4. Don't know why I did that. The change of Clemson Luke. Now, this is the start of the descent into insanity of Clemson Luke. He's really liked attention, right? It's just his thing. You know, I'm sure we all like attention, but he's really attention driven. And he did this thing once where he went live on Instagram with a bunch of lights and shit and just started like throwing a party in his living room, blasting music full, and he got a ton of viewers from it. People were like, what the fuck is he doing? People would tell him to do shit. And he latched onto this piece of fame for a very long time, for like a year, and he would do different the change Clemson Luke part 2, the something of Clemson Luke, the blah 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 Clemson Luke, and this started the craze. Clemson Luke getting attention. And he just started doing shit and 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 doing shit. But yeah. KJ controversy. Now, KJ is a newer flipper, and he has been, controversially posting flips with maybe glue or magnets or other things at play that could be fake. Some of his older flips are definitely fake. But he has posted some new flips, they're controversial. Some say they're real, some say they're not real. And yeah, basically he just has a lot of controversy around the flips that he's landed being fake or real because he used to fake in the past, so it's kind of ruined his reputation now. So even if he does a real flip now, people are always going to be skeptical. And you can always tell if a flip is fake, but sometimes you can't. Some people get really good at hiding it. Nico's Gotta Go, he got really good at hiding fake flips. But KJ still has a lot of controversy around him on judging whether his flips are real or fake or not. Marker Flip League. Now, this is a thing I run. It is a marker flip sport. It takes away from the competitive side of flipping and landing like really good flips and focuses more on the raw skill sport aspect of it, where you're given a flip to land or multiple flips to land. And you have to land it in a certain amount of time, or you'll have to land the flip before the other person lands it. And there's scores and scoreboards and there's like a table and there's playoffs and shit, and it's huge. It's very big in the community, and we're about to wrap up season 1, and season 2 is about to start within the next week or so as of the time I'm recording this. This will probably be out by the time season 2 is out. So I actually don't know who wins the Market Flip League. Right now it's Rowan versus KJ, and then the winner of that plays Alpha, and I have no idea who's going to win that game. But by the time this is out, I bet that game has already happened. So my prediction right now, sorry, Rowan, I'm going to actually go Alpha wins. I think I've got confidence in Alpha. If Rowan wins, then shit, he'd prove me wrong. I think Alpha versus Rowan in the final, and I think Alpha's going to win in an upset fashion. That's my prediction. Jack Garish's 10 stack doesn't count for the same reason why Ethan's double six doesn't count. Jack Garish landed the world's first 10 stack, and there's no full or multi in there, like rotation. So we're just talking about half flip. But 10 stack is a very legendary flip because it is the first stack where you're in the double digits. You know what I mean? Like it's 10, not 9 or 8 or 11. 11 is better than 10, obviously, but 10 is more legendary than 11 most of the time. And yeah, so 10 stack is the most legendary, tall stack. That is 10 markers, double digits. And Jack Garish got first ever 10 stack, but it was with 6 empties, which is 60% of the stack being cheap, and I talked about the empty rule earlier. That doesn't count. So, yeah, it was actually Alfonso Zamora, ABC Trick Shots, I think, who got first ever. Amir's 5.03. Now, I talked about Amir with the Skywides. He got exposed, and recently he landed a 5.03 stack, quintuple rotation 3 stack, and he posted it. But it ended up only being 4 rotations and not 5, and it was very sad, and I felt bad, but yeah, that's basically what happened. JTech. This is the brand of iPad case that is the most, solid iPad case to use. It's the modern day best iPad case. If anyone's getting into flipping and they need to get a good iPad case, buy a JTech iPad case. They're $10 on Amazon, and they're a really good surface. Just perfect. Circumcised highlighter. Okay. There's a highlighter brand from a while ago that comes with a pen grip. And it's supposed to be like a highlighter pen and marker at the same time. I'll show a picture on the screen right now of a circumcised highlighter. And it's called that for, you can see why. It's funny though. Yeah. Circumcised highlighter. Tyler's 5.03. We talked about Amir's. Let's talk about Tyler. I think this is the most infamous lucky flip of all time. That might be a conclusion, but in the beginning of the video, I did say, with luck, you could just chuck something up and land it. Tyler chucked up a 3 stack. First try. 5 rotations and landed it. And at the time, people thought it could have been the best flip of all time. It isn't anymore. I think over 10 people have done it at this point. But at the time, it was like unheard of. Like, it was insane. And he just chucked it up and it just landed. And still to this day, it is probably one of the luckiest flips of all time. Maybe the luckiest. Maybe not the luckiest, but it's definitely up there. But this is by far, in my opinion, the most iconic lucky flip of all time. The most popular lucky flip ever. It's just, you think of luck, you think Tyler 5.03. It's a massive meme too. Tyler has a really good luck. He's really lucky with stuff, and he knows it, and he loves it. Obviously, I would too, man. I'm trying to get lucky, man. But yeah, so Tyler, 5.03. It had to be on here. It is just insane how that works. I Spy book. This is the best book for flipping. It is just like one of those I Spy books. I'll show a picture on the screen right now, and that is really good for box book clipboard. It's just perfect. It's just a really good book, and I really recommend buying it if you want to get good at stacks. I bought an I Spy book, and my stack skill went from here to here. It just helped so much. And if you're going to get a clipboard, get a Trade Quest clipboard. Okay, this isn't on the list, but I'll just give a box book clipboard service. If you want the best of the best, buy a Domino Rally box off eBay. It's a board game. Use the lid of the box, don't use the whole box. I Spy book, and then buy a Trade Quest long clipboard. You can find them on Amazon. You can find all that shit on Amazon, I think. Maybe not the Domino Rally. You can probably find that on eBay. But yeah, buy all that if you want to get really good at stacks. That's the best service possible. Chuka Tyrops. This is Grant's burner account where he just posts random shit on it. If you're not in the flipping community, you're not going to really know anything about this. But yeah, for the people in the community, Chuka Tyrops, it's a funny account where he posts memes. It's like a meme page, basically. That's what I'll call it. It's a meme page, and it's really funny. I love that account. Okay, welcome to the fourth tier of the Market Flip Iceberg. Now the things are getting more obscure, and they might not really make any sense. This is kind of where I'm going to start talking to the community rather than outside viewers, but if you're an outside viewer, I highly recommend to keep watching, especially once we get to the bottom. You can skip to the back. If you could skip to the end if you really wanted to for the dark shit, but we're just going to keep talking about this. Jeremy's Asian. Jeremy was a flipper in 2017 who was really good at the time. He got world's first 9-stack with Crayolas. He got world's first bottom of bottom marker without holding. And yeah, he was a really good flipper. He was good at stacks and all that. And there was a massive joke in the community that he got so mad at where people would call him Asian when he wasn't. And it was just, very, very, very popular joke. People would always just say, Jeremy's Asian. And yeah, very popular 2017 flipper though. He was really good. We'll talk about him later. There's another thing he's involved in on this list. Warriors for Life 12-stack. So Warriors for Life was one of the best flippers back in the Flipda era, 2017. He was top 5 for sure. And yeah, he got 12-stack when it really wasn't 12-stack. It was actually 11. But he thought he was flipping a 12-stack, but he's actually flipping 11. So he was so happy. And then he found out it was 11, and he started crying on like FaceTime calls with people. And people were like, what the fuck? Yeah, and he got very sad, and it was kind of funny. But yeah, it's basically that. Wiley's fake back to my case. So Wiley is Flipda. I'm pretty sure from here I refer to Wiley as Flipda. Or I refer to Flipda as Wiley. But it is Wiley, not Flipda. So Wiley got back-to-back 8. But it wasn't actually. He got an 8-stack, he missed one, and then he got one. But he sped it up really fast to make it look like it was gone back to 2 in a row. And 2 in a row 8-stack would have been the best flip of all time at that time. He didn't post it and try and play it off. He sent it to group chats and kind of just said lol as like a joke to kind of see what people would think. And many people actually thought it was 2 in a row. Like, I have the video on my phone. Yeah, people would post that shit on their story. 2017, we would be like, holy shit, that's real. It's not real, but it's a bit of lore for you. If you weren't around in 2017, you probably don't know about it. But yeah, that's what he did. Bed surface. Now, people started, box book clipboard I told you, people kind of started ditching the box and using a bed instead. They would put a clipboard and book on top of a bed in land flips because the bed and the mattress kind of like softens the landing area. And yeah, people just do that. So that's pretty cool. It got really controversial though. Very, very, very controversial. People started thinking it didn't count and stuff like that. Carl the Flipper versus Wiley Beef. Now, Carl the Flipper was the second best flipper after trick shots. At one point, it was Wiley and Carl who were the two best flippers, and they hated each other. It was a big rivalry, and there was even points where Wiley posted on a story saying, "Can we exterminate Carl from the community?" as like a joke or whatever. But Wiley and Carl both hated each other. And yeah, it was a big feud, and they would go back and forth. And I was really good friends with Carl at this point in time. And yeah, just being like knowing him, he did not like him very much. But yeah, Carl was a really good flipper too. He landed a lot of really good flips. First ever back-to-back triple empty tip. He got empty 11 stack. He got cap on cap. One of the first 10 people to get cap on cap. I think I was the 10th, but he was before me. I know that. But yeah, fixed flipping now. So this was a thing that was ran by Wonder Q Flip and Bacon Flip Connor, who I talked about earlier, where they thought that the community was really toxic and they wanted to fix flipping by making a group chat full of good flipping people. And he made a whole video about it. It's like, fix flipping now, a team you can trust. And people immediately started dogging on this idea because they thought it was hilarious and easy bait. And people were trolling and stuff. But I was a part of it and I wasn't trolling. I just joined the group chat to see what it was about. But Connor thought I was trolling, and Connor sent me some like really hateful messages after that. Even though, to be fair, I'm gonna, Connor, I know you're watching this. I'm gonna back my case, bro. I didn't do shit. I'm gonna just say that right now. No, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a long time ago, and yeah, it was kind of just like a bit of marker flip lore. Trade Quest. Okay, yeah, Trade Quest clipboard. I talked about this earlier when talking about the Boxbook clipboard service. Trade Quest, in my opinion, is the best long clipboard brand you can buy off Amazon. Big stack's really good. Jack Doherty. Now, if you're not a marker flipper, you probably know who this guy is. Go to his account and look at his most popular video. It's a marker flip video. And it's one of the most infamous marker flip videos of all time. I think it's the most popular one I know of. No, there's been more popular ones. But that's one of the most popular marker flip videos ever in terms of view count. And yeah, that video literally started his career. He started his career off marker flips. And he is very controversial and he's a fucking asshole. Jack Doherty, if you're watching this, fuck you. Like, dead ass. Like, you're the biggest bitch ever, bro. And no one likes this kid either. And it's kind of weird how he started his, whole thing off marker flips. Kind of crazy. Camda accounts. Now, troll accounts are down here. Troll accounts were accounts people would make to troll people. It's in the name. And, yeah, so Camda accounts were accounts that people made making fun of Cam. They would make fun of him for being overweight. They would make fun of him for looking like Mario. I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, he does look kind of Italian. Cam, I'm just saying. But I'm just kidding. But no, there's many very hateful accounts made kind of attacking him, and he really didn't like it, and I can see why. It's all fun and games, but sometimes it can be taken too far. You know what I mean? Dude Perfect accounts. Now, IKEA Perfect made a second account called Dude Perfect 2, where it was literally just him. But he was just pretending to be another person. But he literally posted like videos of his face and stuff, which was weird. So it prompted people to do the same with Dude Perfect accounts. I made one. It's called Pack Again, Dude Perfect 69. Cam made one called Pot. Grant made one called Chuka Tyrops. That's a backstory of Chuka Tyrops. It was a knockoff IKEA impersonation account. Now it's just a meme page. Duncan made one called Mac Pangan. Nathan made one called Dude Perfect 6. Jack made one called Walmart Perfect, I think. And it was just a big funny time in quarantine. And yeah, I miss them, bro. They were so funny. Ethan Shots 18. This kid was a very big meme flipper back in 2018. If you were around in 2018, you know who Ethan Shots is. Yeah, nothing much to really say about him. But he was just a big meme in the community back in 2018. I don't really know why he's on here, but yeah. Cookie King / Dems. You might know this guy named Cookie King on TikTok, and he needs to lock in, right? With Santa Cruz Medicinals. He was a former marker flipper by the name of Dems, and if Cookie King is watching this video, please comment. That'd be awesome. I would love to see that. But yeah, he was a OG marker flipper, and he's pretty popular on TikTok now. Same with CS Clips. He got popular on TikTok for jumping over his chair. Yeah, if you ever seen that guy on your For You page that used to jump over his chair, that's CS Clips, the dude who got the first ever marker flip. I can't believe I didn't mention that when I was talking about him. But yeah, Cookie King / Dems, he was, one of the people who flipped back in 2017, and he faked all of his flips. Dude, everyone knew he faked his flips. He even admitted it on a podcast, man.
I kind of like really started, I guess, clout chasing. I wanted to do anything that got views. So I would do water bottle flips, marker flips. I would fake them. I would, do anything to get views.
Yeah, he used to fake a lot of flips, but he was very popular. But yeah, if Cookie King is watching this, please comment. That'd be funny. So, ETS and Cam. Now, Cam and Elite Trick Shooters was a girl who was a marker flipper, and they both talked to each other like on House Party and like Instagram video chats and did combos and stuff. And people would ship them all the time. It was like this massive meme in the community. Cam is my friend, right? And he wasn't very fond of the shipping because, it was completely platonic. Like, they were just friends. And I don't really know if Elite Trick Shooters ever felt any kind of way about those memes. Yeah, they're kind of funny, though. I'm not gonna lie. Just a little bit. And, yeah, Elite Trick Shooters is not in the community anymore, but Elite Trick Shooters, if you are watching this, comment on this video. That'd be pretty cool. The gaming chat in Nico Army verse. So there's a group chat surrounded with Nico's friends, nicknamed the Nico Army. And then there's another group chat called the Gaming Chat, which is a group chat of a bunch of other people. And they have very conflicting ideas back and forth against each other. Gaming Chat doesn't like Nico. Nico Army likes Nico. Hence the name Nico Army. It was a nickname made up by a member of the Gaming Chat, which I will not say who made that up, but just for their own privacy. But yeah, so Nico Army versus the Gaming Chat. Huge debates, man. Heated. I'm very neutral in this, by the way. Just saying. But yeah. Troll accounts, I already covered them. They're basically just troll accounts that people would make to, just fucking troll people. Griffin 4-stack cap. So I'm Griffin, obviously. And I posted a fake dropped 4-stack cap on my personal account. And it got featured on @MarkerFlip, who was up here. The most popular account at the time. So it was posted on MarkerFlip and got, I think, 20,000 views or something like that. And I got hate comments so much. It's a massive meme in the community. Yeah, if you don't know about that and you're a part of the community, go watch it. It's fucking funny as hell. I dropped that shit and it got featured on MarkerFlip. So wonderful. Full MT3. So Alpha Trick Shots, one of the guys who's really good at keeping track of lists, posted a full MT3 stack, and he uses a really funny song, Kitchen to the Bathroom Sink remix. And full MT3 is not a good flip at all. Like, it's maybe if you're just starting out. But Alpha is a well-established flipper who flipped a lot, and he was just posting full MT3. No hate to Alpha, by the way. He's way better now. He's actually really good at this point, and he's in the finals of the MarkerFlip League. Finalist, like, fair play to the man. Like, that's really good. What a comeback story. But full MT3, he posted it when it was really not good at all for him. And people like me, my friend Ryman, Cam, who I mentioned, who else? There was more. I'm forgetting other people, but they posted a full MT3 as a joke to mock him. It's funny. The Backpack Kid. I'm sure you guys know the flosser. The Backpack Kid. He was also a flipper. Yeah, believe it or not. Well, he wasn't really too involved in the community, but he would flip markers and he would post them. When his account was called I Got Bars back in the day. There's videos of him flipping like stuff on the MarkerFlip account. But yeah, he was involved in the flipping community. And if the Backpack Kid is watching this, please leave a comment. That'd be fucking sick. Yeah, let's get all of the people. If Flip does watching this, please leave a comment. If fucking Cookie King's watching this, if Jack Doherty is watching this, don't comment, because I don't want you in my comment section, bro. Get out of here. Anybody, everyone comment on this video, guys. Like and comment, subscribe to the channel, guys. Come on. I'll post more videos. Maybe not MarkerFlip related, but I'll post other videos too. Maybe if this video goes well. Insomnia cap on cap. So I write COC. I'm going to call it cock. Funny, cock. I'm going to call it cock because that's what people call cap on cap. And he landed it without recording. By the way, if you land a flip without filming it, it doesn't count. Obviously, because we can't take your word for it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I did some off-camera mining, or oh, I got a speedrun world record, but I wasn't recording. Obviously, it doesn't count. But he got it off camera, and he got really mad to the point where he punched a picture with Sam's face on it because Sam was giving him shit for it. And that video is around. I think he also pissed on it as well. Now, I don't know if that's actually true or not. That could just be speculation. I'm not sure, but yeah. Back-to-back Fwads. Now, Fwad was a flipper who was popular because his name was Fwad, and people thought it was hilarious. We don't know this or not, but his mom may have given birth to a twin. I'm pretty sure that's the backstory of this. This is probably the one thing on the Iceberg I'm the least certain about. I think it's all speculation that he had a twin brother, so his mom got back-to-back Fwads. B2B is also what we call two in a row. Basically, we just write B2B because it's back-to-back. Yeah. Conjoint extras. Now, people back in the day used to make combined extras accounts. There was Duncan and Braylon made one. My friend Salty Flips and me made one, Salty Magic. That account still exists, and it's public, so go follow if you don't know that account. It's funny as hell. Wiley made one with some other person, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, people would just make conjoint extras accounts, and it was pretty cool. Okay, so welcome to Tier 5. We're going to start off with Multi-Cup 3. Now, Multi-Cup 3 was a multi-stack account, multi-stacks, but with stacked cups made by Tenor, which he abandoned like immediately. And so next up, 4.69%. Now there's this flipper named Jack Fish, who we will definitely get into him later down the Iceberg. And he sent his grades to the First Army chat one time, and he had a 4.69% in one of those classes. I don't remember what class it is. Someone's going to have to fact check me on which one it is. I have no idea. But yeah, he had a 4.69. Dude, he was failing so many classes. It was actually kind of embarrassing. Okay, this is where you might want to lower your volume if you're someone else that's in the room. but penis pics have been a thing. Obviously, they've been a thing everywhere, but they've been a thing in the flipping community, which is really fucked because it's basically all children. And yeah, I'm sure you can guess how that is. There's been many instances of flippers who have had their penis be leaked and sent in DMs, and it's just not good. Like, it's really not. And I could give some examples, but I'm not going to, just out of, I don't think some people that have had their penis sent, I don't think they want their name being publicly spoken about. So I'm not going to delve deep into that because I think it's weird. Okay, 3 in a row 10. Now, the highest 3 in a row stack right now is empty 9. Empty 9 stack, right? Which means there's an empty marker on the bottom. 3 in a row empty 9. I got first ever. Second ever was David. Third ever was Jack. Fourth ever was Nathan. And I think that's it. But 3 in a row 10 is taller than 3 in a row empty 9. And this was landed before 3 in a row 7 off camera by David Copland. Think about how much that would have broken flipping. Like, that would have been best ever. Back-to-back full 7 call, I think, was already landed. So, not best ever, but that would have been one of the most ahead-of-the-time flips of all time. Rainy shots. Now, Rainy was a person who did many things. I'm sure you can literally see down here. Rainy smoking a Twix. Yeah. Honestly, these two should have just been conjointed. I'll talk about them both right now. Rainy was a person in the community that no one really liked. He was kind of, I don't know, just didn't really fit in with people. There's many things he did, many stupid claims he made that I kind of forgot, honestly. It's been so long. But there was this one moment where he posted a video of him smoking a Twix in the school bathroom. And he made a TikTok video, like a couple years later. He made a video saying, like, let's make this a video to confuse all the people who vape. And I think it was like a picture of like a 43rd birthday candle or something like that. Basically just taking a cheap shot at people who smoke. And, which obviously, don't smoke, guys. Come on, let's be real. But there's a video of him smoking a Twix, right? So, Ryman, a flipper, posted on his TikTok account, Pile of Poop. I honestly should have grouped these together. That duetted a video of him, or stitched the video, or whatever it is. I think it was a duet, right? You know, where it's like side by side. He made a duet of Rainy smoking the Twix in the school bathroom, and it was going viral. Like, it was actually going viral. But Rainy mass reported the post so much to the point where it got taken down. Felinus. Now, this kid was one of the most intriguing flippers we've ever had. He had Asperger's, right? Which caused him to be able to remember a lot of things. So you could point to him any post, and he could tell you the exact date it was landed, like just off the top of his head. It was insane. He also was like one of the first people to really, like, you know, keep track of things. Like he really kept track of a lot of stuff. He even tried making his own like mathematical equation that would be able to rank multis in difficulty based on rotation and amount in a row. And it was actually somewhat accurate, believe it or not, but it kind of broke once you got into like really a lot, like many in a row flips, if that makes sense. Like 9 in a row 1.5s or 12 in a row 1.5s would be considered like 5 in a row quads difficulty. Like, it really broke once you got down to that scale. But overall, with like in a row doubles and quads, it was like really accurate. And then randomly, he just had a self-string of consciousness and deleted everything. No trace. Literally no trace. His account is still up, but it's random spam. He never even deleted the account. He unsent every single DM that he ever sent to me on all of my accounts. I don't know why. I think. I'll have to double check. And yeah, he said he didn't want a trace of himself being on the internet whatsoever and just went gone. And no one has heard from him since. It's been easily like 4 years. Paul haircut stream. Now, Paul Malone did a live stream one time where he cut his own hair on the live. This is in quarantine, and everybody was, you know, not everybody, but Paul was crazy. He was crazy in quarantine. He would fucking pour water on his face. He pissed on his clipboard. He fucking cut his hair on live. Like, he was losing it. He's definitely more normal now, but back then he was losing his mind. And he cut his own hair on live, and it did not turn out very good. I'm not gonna lie. My old YouTube videos, they're not bad, okay? But they were just videos I made when I was, you know, 4th grade or 5th grader with my friends, and they're so cringe, bro. They're all privated right now, but Ryman easily has screenshots of some. They're just, yeah. You watch a video of yourself back in 4th grade, and you will completely understand what I'm talking about. Okay, N-word virus. This is one of my favorite ones to talk about. Oh my god. Okay, so the Nico Army, right? You know, a subset of the flipping community. Nico and people of that group chat used to always say the N-word a lot, being white, which obviously, you know, they were immature 13-year-olds back in the day, right? Obviously, it doesn't give an excuse. I wasn't saying that word when I was 13, but all of them have grown out of it. Most of them. I'll say that. Yeah, and there's just multiple situations of people just saying the N word a lot. If you go to the old Army group chats and you look up the N word, you'll just see so many N words being dropped from some of the members of that chat, of this group. And also, Gavin, one of the members, went into a Frisbee DM, and I know Frisbee is like, there are rivals, I guess, or whatever, but he started spamming the N word. And I don't think he's very fond of that moment. It was like maybe 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't remember. And he's not very fond of that moment, obviously, but yeah. And it's just become a massive joke in the community. Oh, I have the N-word virus. I can't stop saying the N-word. Dude, it's like that one meme of like those two girls who tried like a really spicy thing and they're like on a porch or whatever, and like the title says like try not to say the N-word challenge. Like that's basically what I think of when I talk about the N-word virus to you. It's so funny, bro. Obviously I've never caught the N-word virus, but I hope I won't catch it anytime soon. Okay, next up is what Wiley wore. Now this was Wiley flipped out the old best flipper or whatever. His mom had an Instagram account for posting pictures of him, and she would post pictures of him all the time, and the flipping community found it and started spamming comments and shit. And yeah, a lot of memes came out of the What Wiley Wore account, and now the account is private and won't accept my follow request. Every time I try and follow it, it declines me. So next up is the German marker flip army. So back when flipping used to have a lot of people, and I mean way more, people made the German marker flip army, and they made an account for it. I'm not really sure if that account is still active, but it was all the flippers that were from Germany, and I think a couple from Austria, because I know DMZ Neckme, I think, was a part of it. And I mean, they speak German in Austria, so yeah, it makes sense, right? So yeah, it was just basically a little community of German flippers that posted on the account. It was pretty cool. I liked it. Next up is Creamer Flip. Creamer Flip was another marker flip subset, but this one was not nearly as official. It was just videos of people who would flip creamers. You know, like those coffee creamers? If you put your finger on the edge of them and slam down on the table, they will do like a full 360 rotation. And yeah, creamer flip. It was a very... People did them for fun. They were, cool. You know, ever go to like an IHOP or a diner, you have leftover creamers. I would just always flick them and land them. You can land them on top of each other too. And this was an account that would feature creamer flips, and some flippers got onto it, and other people that don't even flip markers got featured on it, because it's apparently like a somewhat popular thing. Like people have done it before. Like there's post feature from like 2017, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I submitted a couple of things to that account, and I never got in the account. I never got on Cran Flip or Creamer Flip, but I made it to Marker Flip, I guess. So yeah, whatever, I guess. Okay, Connor's lost markers. So the same person who made the fix flipping now thing, Connor, wanted to send Fuad, back-to-back Fuads, that guy, who lived in the UAE. Connor lives in the United States, or no, he lives in Canada. He lives in Alberta, I'm pretty sure. Connor lives in Canada, and Fuad lives in the United Arab Emirates. And you can't really get expos in UAE, so all of his flips kind of just didn't count. Just kind of the same situation with Amir, because, he used different markers, and they weren't the standard dimensions of expo, so therefore the flips didn't count. And Connor sent Fuad a package of these markers and was like, okay, now you can actually start posting flips to your account that will actually, count. And they never came to him. So obviously it was just like a mix up in the packaging, or they got lost in the packaging. But I guess you can make it out to be like this cool, oh, where did Connor's lost markers go? You could if you wanted to. Personally, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but I think it's kind of cool. You can kind of make some, little mysteries about it. But yeah, his markers are gone. No one knows. Harper Morn TikTok. I swear that's not mom. It's Morn, but the R and the N are like, I don't know. Okay, Harper Morn, not Harper Mom. He made a TikTok account where he posted dance videos, and I feel so bad for him because, bro, they were pretty bad. Like, they're cringe. And he was so sassy with it, too. Like, he would straight face, like what was that one song? I'm a savage. Yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah, like that TikTok song. He made a video with that, and he, like, did the, what's it called? The part where on the song it goes like nasty, where you kind of like turn sideways. I don't remember what that was called, but he did that, and it's bad. It's a pretty cringe video, unfortunately. And the flippers found that, and they started posting so many memes about it. Thomas Wells. Now this was one of the most iconic troll accounts ever. It started off as a new flipper posting bottle flips and marker flips to the account, but it never showed its face. People were like, okay, it's probably another troll account, but you never know. Then I remember this, like, the person who ran the account posted a video of him doing like a bottle flip, and like the dude he stole the video from was like slightly chubby, and you could tell. But like the videos before weren't, like, they were of a skinny dude. So everybody was like, okay, dude, what is this? So people caught on pretty quickly that it wasn't a troll account, or that it was a troll account, sorry. And then to make it even worse, they found the picture of the dude who, he had a picture of him as his profile, right? And it claimed to be him, right? But people found that picture, and they found that was just a random picture on the internet. And people were like, okay, who the fuck is this? And the account was so funny because they would comment really innocent things. Like he was a really innocent flipper. And the person who made this account went like crazy far. They made a TikTok for the account and posted TikToks for the dudes. So they really tried to make it out to be like an active flipper. But then I think they got logged out or something, because then another account was posted that was like, I got logged on my first account. Please follow this one. But no one went to follow that new account because it kind of just died there, unfortunately. And still to this day, no one knows who Thomas Wells is. Obviously, you can make your assumptions to who you think it is. I have a pretty good guess, but I'm not going to say it on this video. Okay, this is Wiley's 7-stack tip. So Paul, I talked about him with the haircut stream, got first ever 7-stack on the tip. Wiley got second ever, but he never posted it. It is one of Wiley's really good flips he never posted. He also never posted 3 in a row 1.5 cap, which was also second ever behind Baronet. And I think the reason why he didn't post these separate was because they were second ever. He was kind of ego in a way. He had a big ego back in the day. And I think I've heard he still does, yeah. He didn't want to post it probably because it wasn't first ever, and that's not good enough for him, even though these flips were still really good for the community. And yeah, he didn't post it. Paul's double six now. Oh my god. Okay, so Paul Malone in quarantine landed double 6-stack third ever behind David Coughlin and Cam to Savage, who I talked about. He started claiming to Cam that Cam's double six had 3 empties, and 3 empties on 6-stack is, cheap because 50% of the stack is empty, according to the empty rule, obviously. And yeah, the whole community thought that Cam's double six had 3 empties, even though it was just a joke that Paul made. And yeah, so everybody started calling Cam's double six cheap and Paul's second ever, and Cam was like, what the fuck, no, I used 2 empties, because Cam used 2 empties. And it became this massive thing, and still to this day, some people think that Cam's double six had 3 empties. It did not. Cam's double six had 2 empties and was second ever. Paul's was third ever. A really random thing. I don't remember why. I don't know, but yeah. I think it was a massive troll. Paul was a very trolly person. He troll all the time, so maybe. Okay, Godson beatbox. So there's this flipper named Godson who was pretty good. He got full 8 and full empty 7, no empties on his full empty 7 too, except the bottom, which is actually insane. Like, what the hell? And, people use songs on flipping with beat drops like Trap Nation. If you go to Trap Nation and pull up a song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, right on the beat drop, that's when the flip lands. But he made this Christmas beatbox. It was like... Bingo plus, bingo plus, bingo on the pay. Pull up on the place to buy the one so busy. It's so funny. And he made his own beatbox have like a drop. It was like, I don't know how to do it. I'm not good at beatboxing. I'm not gonna even attempt it. But he's actually good at beatboxing. And people thought it was funny, so people actually started using that on their posts. Crossword Maniac. So this is another famous troll account of someone who pretended to be somebody else. But this troll account mainly focused on being weird. I remember I used to have really long hair back in my marker flip videos. I don't have it anymore. So people used to confuse me with a girl. And I remember this account DM'd me saying, can we FaceTime and you show me your boobs? Deadass actually said that to me. I was like, what the hell? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this troll account was Paul, but people just tell me that it was Paul. I've never gotten full confirmation from Paul that this actually was Paul. So Paul, if you're watching this, please let me know if you were Crossword Maniac, even though everyone tells me you were. I haven't asked you, and I've not heard you come out and say that it was you. So still to this day, I don't know. But yeah. Alright, next up is JS impersonation, which honestly should and could probably be deeper. This was the first ever troll account that I know of, and might have been like the first big troll account to this date. It was basically an impersonation of this guy named JS Trick Shots, who he got first ever 9-stack Crayola cap, but he would shove his Crayolas really hard, so it would be called JS Shove, right? And Kemper actually gained that title, and now people call it Kemper Shove when you shove the Crayolas even more, and it makes the stack shorter. But I'm getting on a tangent. I'm not talking about JS Shove. I'm talking about JS impersonation, which was a troll account pretending to be JS. And this was in 2017, a long time ago, so I'm very foggy with the details. But I'm pretty sure that the person who ran this account just pretended to be JS. And the person who ran this account was Jack, Giraffe Trick Shots. So, yeah. Kind of funny. Rainy's Book and Twix, I already talked about that. Moco. So Moco was the iPad case that was like the best iPad case before JTech was really mainstream. I used to use Moco. That was my green iPad case, and it served me really well until I found JTech, and I thought, okay, wait, JTech's actually just better. Moco's still not bad, though. If you want to get a good iPad case, I would just get JTech, but Moco's still not a bad option. If you have a Moco, you could still land pretty good stuff with it. Mashhood Exposed. So Mashhood was this flipper from Pakistan, I think? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know it was some Asian country, Central Asia, maybe South Asia. And he posted 7 in a row 2-stack tip, first ever, which is insane. If you think no one has done more than 5 in a row, I'm pretty sure. I think Alex Schatz has world record, which is 5 in a row. Mashhood got 7 in a row at the time, but he was exposed for faking it. I'm pretty sure he used glue or like some sticky substance. I don't think it was magnets, and he got exposed for it being fake. Or maybe it was, I don't know. I keep second guessing myself, but yeah. Okay, this next one goes in comparison with Mashhood Exposed. So with this flipper I already mentioned, Gavin, I think called Mash's parents terrorists, which is a terrible thing to do, and I don't really want to talk more about it because it's really fucked. I'm just going to move on. Nico house party dance video. Oh my god. Okay, so Nico posted a video of him, me, Benjamin Oviatt, he was a really good flipper back in the day, and Alfum, another really good flipper back in the day. He posted a video of us dancing to this, the Allier intro. Oh, it was the Allier intro. He made a video of us dancing to the bass boosted Allier intro. We were just trolling, having a good time as 13-year-olds. And then this motherfucker decides to post the video. And oh my god, forever, bro. It was up on Instagram. He got logged out of the account. And forever, he was just fucking posted. That was just posted. And the account is gone now. I don't know why, but thank God. But someone definitely has the screen recorder. I know someone does. And I got flamed so much for even participating, bro. And I tried to cover it up, too. I tried to say, like, they made me do this. And people replied to the comment, like, bitch, we know you just did it on your... I was like... Man, what the fuck, bro? Like, oh my god. It was a very embarrassing moment for me, but it's whatever. AP Marker Flips. Now, AP Marker Flips was this account that, it was like this Google Classroom. I still have it. I will pull it up right now. So there's 2 of them. AP Marker Flip History and AP Marker Flips. And this was basically just a Google Classroom of people who would just, of flippers. We had assignments to do. Favorite flipper assignment. I turned something in. Let's see what I turned in. My favorite flipper has to be Grant, no bias. I always find myself stalking his account once a week. His thumbnails make me want to watch his videos, and his account very organized. Yeah, like dead ass. What did I get on this? I got a 90 out of 100. Oh, it was 1 or 2 paragraphs. I got 10 points off. Shit. Okay. Yeah, but we would just have stuff like this, and it was very fun at the time. And you know, we had a lot of people here. We had a whole ass group here, bro. And then there was AP Marker Flips, which is just AP Marker Flips. Quiz without holding marker on markers. Wait, Nathan ran this one. Announcement. If you don't turn in your assignments today, it will be marked as 0. The only way to turn late assignments to get full credit is to turn... 9 class comments. Like, look at this. Like, look at this, bro. We had a fucking Google Classroom. This is so stupid, bro. But yeah, basically, that's what that was. And it was funny. It was a fun time. It was quarantine vibes, you know. Where was that? Paul fake giveaway. So Paul made a giveaway. I think it was like a talent show, and he was going to give away a gift card, but it ended up just being a fake giveaway, and it was all planned. I'm pretty sure the winner was Trickshot King, but he already consulted with Trickshot King beforehand, according to him, that it was all going to be fake, and it's just this massive fake giveaway. It was just, I don't know. Okay, 1.57 stack cap on cap. If you're a flipper and you have no idea about like this story, you're going to be like, what the fuck? 1.57 stack cap on cap. I know. So when SRS got 3.53, it made Jack super mad and made him quit. His first quitting. You know, he had a very long, brief period without flipping, and then he posted again. And he ended up trying 1.57 stack cap on cap for like 30 minutes to an hour, I'm pretty sure. Like dead ass. He was so mad he was just trying that. And Jack, why? Like, why? Like I still don't understand the thought process behind this. Jack, please make a comment on why you did this. That's never, like, what? Okay, Nathan bad election time. So at one point in that time, Nathan was the admin of the First Army chat, but people thought he was corrupt, and I'm not going to give my opinion on that. Actually, I will. I don't think he was. I think that was very dumb to even do that, but whatever, right? So Nathan, people, like, revolted against Nathan. They were like, we need justice in the First Army. We need to run an election. So the entire First Army fucking ran an election and allowed the entire flipping community to vote on it. And the winner ended up being Paul. I'm pretty sure it was Paul versus Jack in the final, and then Jack just gave up. He's like, nah, fuck this. I don't want to be admin or whatever, the First Army. And now Paul's admin. But Paul's not really active on his flipping account. So we can't add anyone to the group chat. And we're not going to make a new chat because this chat has so much history behind it. It's been up since 2019. But no one can add anyone. No one can kick anyone. No one can manage the chat at all. Decoy argument. Now, Decoy was a flipper whose name Planet Trick Shots. And I think he deadass posted a half bottle flip. You at home could do that. Like, easily. I'm not even kidding. So, yeah. He started playing Fortnite a lot, and he got into a massive argument with the flipping community, and this argument thread ended up being over like 300 replies, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's still available to view, but I wish it is. If it is, send it to me. Someone send it to me. This group chat was crazy. This argument was absolutely crazy. We were calling each other so many things, and it was just an iconic fucking meme. Welcome to the last part of the ice in the icebreaker. First up is Devin Block. Devin Block was a girl that went to my school. I used to be good friends with her, but I'm not friends with her anymore, really. But yeah, so she somehow integrated into the community through, I think, Ethan and Ryman. I think Ethan and Ryman with Devin Block, they were kind of like talking in a way. She had a friend named Jordan Day as well, and they were kind of all talking. I was just like, okay, this is kind of random, but whatever. So then Devin Block kind of just becomes a massive meme in the community, and people go to her personal account and start commenting like, you should try full 7 and shit like that. Her comment section was fucking raided by flippers. Like, she was just a normal girl, right? So her, like, she'd post a picture or whatever, and all the kids from my school comment like, blah, 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 and then you see market flippers like, try full 7, backtrack full, like, bro, it was so funny. And it ended up, there was this one FaceTime call, which was the most random FaceTime call ever, called the Chaos Call. And it ended up being merged into the Chaos group. The group call was Jordan Day, Devin Block, and then me. And then a bunch of flippers. So many. To the point where we even had Clemson Luke on the fucking call. And Maher, a flipper. His username was TS Greatness. He quit a long time ago. But Maher, if you're watching this video, please leave a comment about this because I know you remember this. He landed 3 in a row 4.5s on the fucking group chat call with Devin Block. Like, how is that real? How is that real? I don't know. Sharpie Generation. Now, if you look up Sharpie Generation on Amazon, I don't think you can get him anymore. But this was the little code word you would have to type in order to buy clear Sharpies off Amazon. I'm actually curious. I'm going to go see. Yeah, they're gone. You cannot find any clear Sharpies anymore, but that was like the little code word you had to type in at Amazon in order to get the clear Sharpies. And yeah, that's basically what it is. I already went over Pile of Poop. It's basically Ryman's TikTok account, and it's really funny. You should go drop a follow. Okay, Clemson profile picture saga. And, okay, I'm sure you can tell, who's this Clemson guy? Why is he here? He is on this list the most out of anybody because he has the most lore. I honestly could make an entire iceberg for Clemson Luke. Like, deadass, I could. And Editor Griffin here, if I actually get 100 likes on this video, I will make one. There's a picture of him running. I think he was running a 5K or something. And everybody has that picture and made it their profile picture. And the whole flipping community just had this one picture as their profile picture of Clemson Luke running. And it was so fucking funny. I will never forget it. It was hilarious. I didn't join in because I've kept my profile picture since 2016. And yeah, it's just hilarious. Hayden's tourney. So you think about the old tournaments back in 2017. The way they worked was you would send your best flip in and they would go head to head up against other people and people would vote on which flips are better. Now, it's cool in theory, but it's dumb. Like, literally David could just send his best flip or whoever's landed best ever could send their flip in every tournament. They would win every single tournament. So it was done. So people quickly adopted this new tournament style where a flip was named and the first people to land the flip would win and the last person would get knocked out. Many people would think I started this trend because I was the most popular person who made one early on, but no, Hayden Flips made one over a year before mine, maybe over 2 years before mine. And yeah, Hayden Flips did this in 2018 and it worked really well. I don't know if the final was ever played though, but yeah. And yeah, so this like made tournaments huge after I brought it back. I kind of revived them, right? And Hayden's was my inspiration, obviously, and many people did it. Sam even made an account for it and started doing his tournaments. Sam's tournaments were definitely the most high-profile tournaments back in the day. And obviously, my thing that I showcased earlier, Marker Flip League, is a very big inspiration to tournaments. And the reason why I made it is because a big downfall to tournaments is not everyone is able to do the flip at the same time. Right, and one gets knocked off. Because when you have 10 people in a group chat, it's hard to all find a time where everybody will be available to do the round. So people started creating the idea of doing 1v1 style games, and I think Sam was the one who started this. Sam started doing 1v1 games, so 2 people would just have to, what's it called? want to do the round, and then they would do it. And yeah, tournaments lasted a long time. Then they came to a massive halt once everyone got bored of them. Now we have the Marker Flip League. So yeah, join season 2 soon, guys. Let's go. Weed heals you. So there's this flipper named Rudy Trickshots, now known as King Rodolfo, he was like a normal flipper, right? Back in the day, he was like such a tiny flipper, and he had such a big head, bro. But he grew up a little bit, and he started becoming like a drug dealer. And he made his flipping account his like personal account. Maybe not drug dealer, but he would sell weed, right? And this is when weed was illegal. This is like 5 years ago, right? Back before weed was heavily legalized, and he was underage. So he was like 14 probably, and he was selling marijuana, and I think other pills. I'm pretty sure on his story. And we made a group chat. Well, we were talking a lot of shit. It was like 5 of us. It was me, Paul Malone. I think Grant was. I don't know if Grant was involved. He might have been. Zalgaloo and Marcus Herve. And so all of us were giving him so much shit, right? Not Clemson. Oh my God. Rodolfo adds us to a group chat with his friend. I forgot one of the friends' name, and the other dude's name was Woke Isaiah. So it was like a 3v5, and we were just fucking arguing. And I remember the first message that was sent to the group chat was called, "Yo, you bitch asses talk hella hot in the comments, but ain't shit in the DMs." I was wheezing because dude, their grammar was so bad. But yeah, the way they were talking was very funny, right? And yeah, and I remember, so we were arguing, right? And he brought up weed. We were talking about weed. We were like, weed's stupid. And I'm going to say it now. Weed is super fucking dumb if you're 14, right? Obviously, it can have its medical benefits or whatever, but at the age of 14, bro, that is not good for the developing mind. It really isn't. It's a gateway drug, and it's not good. If you're old and you're responsible and you smoke weed on occasion and it doesn't negatively affect your life at all, that's fine. That's great. But this kid was 14 years old, bro. He needs to lock in. And he said, weed heals you. And when he said that in the group chat, bro, we were fucking dying. It was the funny. I was on a FaceTime call with Paul. I remember, weed heals you pops up. We both looked at each other with like that side eye and just started fucking dying, bro. It was so funny. We all just screenshot that shit and started like. All right, next up we have Paul's fake flips. So Paul started popularizing a new method of faking. He faked some of his flips. And you can only do it on an in-a-row flip. So what he would do is he would go onto FaceTime and screen record himself in like the bottom corner. You know, like when you're on FaceTime with somebody and you have like your screen's in the bottom corner? He would have that, right? And he would screen record. So the quality was really low because, it was zoomed in the corner. And what he would do is he would do in-a-row flips. And he would not move his body at all. And whenever he would, like, let's just say he's trying 4 or something, he gets 3. He stays in the same position every time and keeps flipping it until he lands 1 more. And then he starts reacting. He's like, I got it. Which, in theory, is like... And what he would do is he would put the clips together and he would use the dissolve filter on iMovie to mesh the fucking flips together. And it became very, very, very... Like, no one noticed at first. Because no one had ever seen this way of faking. He was faking flips by them being real. But not actually real, right? The flips itself just wasn't the flip that he was saying it was, right? But he still did at least landed like 5 of them, and people were like, oh my god, like whatever, they didn't even know this was fake until people started realizing like he could see like faint background things move kinda, and people were like, wait a second, he's cutting his clips. And once it was brought up, people were like, whoa, he's cutting his clips. And he ended up archiving all of the posts. And this was a part of his mass post streak. So his post streak was mainly fake. I'm pretty sure all the flips are gone off his account. You can't find him anymore. And I don't know if he's admitted to any of them, but Paul, if you're still here, please admit to him, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, we don't know. Like, come on. All right, next up was the Duck Army. Very similar to the Clemson profile picture saga. It was basically R3D. He was this flipper, and at the time, he was a 4th Army member, and he was kind of... I'm not... All right, sorry, Cody, but he was kind of irrelevant, Cody. I'm not, you can agree with me, bro. Like, come on. Now, obviously, you're, like, really good at flips now, and you're, like, well-known in the community. Everyone knows you and stuff. But at the time, you were kind of, like, just a 4th Army member. And you made this thing called the Duck Army. Let's make the Duck Army and join, and everybody makes their profile picture a duck. And it was super funny. But a bunch of 1st Army members started joining because they thought it was funny. Like, SRS joined. I don't know. I can't remember anyone else. I just remember SRS being the main one. He was a massive advocate for the Duck Army, and everyone's profile pictures were just ducks for a little bit. Fucking hilarious. Lucky Flips account. Now, this is another troll account, and this account was insane. So, I talked about luck, right? Luck flips don't add your skill to a certain degree in the flipping community, and flipping... luck was seen as a very negative thing. People would hate on you if you got luck, like, oh, you fucking lucky bitch, like shit like that. And Paul made this troll account called the Lucky Flips account, where back in 2019 is when it did. He would feature Lucky Flips, right, on the account. And it was like a massive troll. People were like, ugh, who the fuck is this guy? Whatever. And I talked about Cam's luck in one of the earlier videos, how Cam used to get really lucky back in 2019. So Paul started to post a bunch of Cam's flips, like, in a row. And the whole account just became Cam. And he did a live stream, and everybody joined the live stream and was like, oh my god, and then he showed his face with that little fucking smirk. You know exactly what picture I'm talking about if you're in the flipping community too. And it was this huge troll, and oh my god. Cam got very mad, but it's kind of just looked back on as kind of just funny, whatever, but holy shit, that was insane. Back-to-back double two-stack highlighter tip. So I talked about Lucas Mason earlier, and this is one of his things. So Lucas Mason is no longer on Instagram, and I think I said earlier that I was going to talk about it, but I'm not going to because it's kind of it's just weird. Just know that his parents don't allow him to go on Instagram anymore, so he doesn't post or interact with anybody, right? And he claims to have gotten back-to-back double two-stack highlighter tip before he quit, which was absurd. Same with back-to-back 2.53, I'm pretty sure, or he just got a fail. People told me back in the day that he got back-to-back 2.53, and now people are saying he only got a fail. So this is obsolete, and I don't understand this part of the iceberg. But there's another thing I can kind of talk about relating to that, but I'll get to that later. Back-to-back double two-stack highlighter tip is absurd. Like, that is unthinkable. Like, actually, like, that is insane. And he claims to have got it, but there's no video. But according to some people, like I think Marshall and Max Flip said they saw the recording. Like, Lucas showed the recording to them. But other than that, that poster is nowhere to be seen. That flip is still a massive mystery. No one knows if he fucking landed it. So next up is Lorgic. So this stems from the thing. So Jack landed the world's first 18 stack on a Discord call with me, Nico, and Tyler. And Tyler goes by Tylor, which I'm pretty sure I wrote a tier about Tylor earlier, and I talked about it. He goes by Tylor. Yeah, Tylor up here. He goes by Tylor. And basically, Jack's camera was off, and he got 18 stack. At the time, was the best flip of all time. And it was absurd. Tall stack ever landed. Holy shit. It was insane. But he didn't react loud, and he didn't tell the fucking group chat, right? He used, on the tile marker, he used a green chipped tip, which he ended up giving to me when I met him in real life. And Tyler said, yo, Jack, since I've seen Griffin and you gave Griffin that marker, we basically met up. Or like he said he saw that marker, so we basically met up. And it was a massive inside joke because, bro, obviously you have not met up with him, bro. It's just a marker. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Oh my god. Okay. 1 second, fuck. And this became a massive meme, and people started comparing it to shit like, oh my god, we basically met up because we both seen the moon. Like, people started just saying shit, and people started calling it Lorgic because Tylor, logic, Lorgic. So, yeah, it just became a massive meme, and it's still a very common meme to this day. Another Paul troll account. Oh my god. So, Paul made this account called Farmy5, and just started saying, like, a bunch of shit to flippers. And we added him to the second army, and he started just talking a bunch of shit. Like, he would just say everybody was dumb and all this stuff, right? I don't remember exactly what words were said to him, but what words were said to the chat, but he was fucking, like, cooking us, bro. And people were like, okay. So we added him to a VC, and he said, like, I'm not or something. And I could immediately tell it was Paul, and I found out, and boom, Paul exposed. It's from me 5. It's a massive joke. So I talked about Thomas Wells being a faceless flipper. This Cast Clips is me, Cam was Blaze Clips, and Bruh Flips was Nathan. And I started this. I started the massive trend of faceless flippers, and also dank flips. I forgot to add dank flips. Cast Clips, and Jake Brooks. So many, bro. Okay, just now, Cast Clips was the original, and it was me. And it was basically me doing flips without showing my face, acting like I was a new flipper. But no one had seen this attempted before, right? So everybody thought it was real until Quinn exposed me. But I got other people to do it, like Benjamin Oviatt was a part of the account, and Bennett was a part of the account too. And I got all my friends to make them too. And once Cast Clips got busted, everybody started to realize what was going on. And yeah, it's just a massive thing in history. TB's Insane Edition. So TB Animations, this old flipper named Conrad, used to make videos on YouTube called Insane Edition 1 through 20, where he would post his marker flips in there. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty. He was really big on YouTube because I think it was the best YouTube flipper at the time. And he made 20 parts to his Insane Edition where he would just post insane flip compilations into the thing because he had a lot of skill back then. So he would just do shit, right? And yeah, they're just kind of like a thing in flipping history. The 20th one, he got a bunch of people on Instagram to send their flips in. And I'm pretty sure Baron, you had to tell him what flips you wanted featured. And I'm pretty sure Baron didn't tell anybody, so he picked like the worst flips possible from Baron. Like shitty spinner sandwiches. I was wheezing. But yeah, they're all unlisted now and they're kind of hard to find, but Nystrom's. So Benjamin Oviatt sent me a marker called Nystrom to my house. He sent it to me. And he found these at school. But they were white markers with white caps, which is very rare to see. They were black ink, but they were really cool. And they made bottom on bottoms and like marker on markers so easy to the point where they were considered cheap by the whole community and even fake. People thought my 4 bottom on bottoms was fake. I posted that, and it may or may not be considered cheap. I'm pretty sure it is. It was basically just like an old Expo, but for some reason they were even better. Like not only for just bottom on bottoms, but like for marker on glue stick. I got 9 in a row half flip on glue stick, missed one, got 10 in a row half flip on glue stick without holding. And then I tried with Expo, I couldn't even get 3 in a row. So like they were just absurd. The ink tubes would shake around in them, and I even got a cap on cap with one. I'm pretty sure they would be insane for cap on caps too if I still had one. So I had 2, right? Benjamin sent me 2 of them. I was gonna give one to Paul and keep one to me, but I accidentally gave both to Paul, and Paul's mom threw them out. So no one has them anymore except Benjamin Oviatt. I'm pretty sure he may still own one. I might try and get him to send me one. Jeremy's account. So I talked about Jeremy's Asian, right? But Jeremy was a flipper, obviously back in 2017, who deleted all his posts, archived his whole account was fucking gone. And then randomly in like 2020, 2021, I think, his account just got reinstated with every single flip and even his profile picture getting reinstated. And his account was private, I'm pretty sure. So people who requested to follow, I don't know if they were accepted or if his account is just there now. And everybody was kind of like, what the fuck? With no trace of him. I even DM'd him saying like, yo, why's your account up? Nothing. And no one knows why his account just randomly got put up back. Naked Frisbee Shot was done by Clemson. He's on here again, guys. Yes, he is. And I talked about Clemson really desperately wanting attention. So he made a video of him. He does Frisbee trick shots and flips. He's one of the only people that does both. Him and a couple others do. But he did a video of him throwing a Frisbee over the house. Fucking butt-ass naked. I wish I was joking, but no. He did a naked Frisbee shot and posted it to Instagram. Next up is Rivers drops full 7. So I talked about drops, how if you hold on to the markers for too long, it doesn't count. But that's for half stacks. River was the first person to drop a full 7. And it was so fucking funny. I don't know why he did it, and he got massive hate for it. It was just wheezable. Okay, so I touched on this. I don't know if Lucas Mason got it, but there was one time where Paul made a massive troll, another troll by Paul, I know, where he claimed he got back-to-back 2.53, but it was just a massive joke. Next up is Gavin. So Gavin made a video of him flipping his dog, and the dog landed on its neck. The dog is okay, guys, no worries, but really fucked up. He deadass filmed it and flipped the dog on his neck. I'm pretty sure Gavin's pretty normal now, but some of the stuff he did back in the day, like, Gavin, like, lock in, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, lock in, fool. Like, I don't know what you're doing, bro. All right, next up, Ben Shots, 1.5 cap on cap. So Kemper landed 1.5 cap on cap, right? And it was like, it's considered the best flip ever right now. I still don't know how he fucking did it. But back in the day, Ben Shots did a fake one where he cut it. And it was a massive troll. It was even posted on Connor's Extras pretending to be his Ben Shots main account. Very funny. And yeah, it actually got me. Like, it's a really well thought out fake flip, but it's obvious that it's fake. He cut it. Next up is Sam's 4-story Crayola. So Sam got world's first 4-story Crayola tower, which isn't really good anymore, but at the time it was really good when towers started blooming. I talked about towers earlier. It's when you flip a marker on top of another marker. So this is 3 markers stacked on top of each other, highlighters, right? And he flips a Crayola on top of that without holding it, which is insane. And then Joe just fucking posted it on his story, I think, and just like lol or something. And Sam got very mad because rightfully so. Joe fucking leaked his flip. Joe's really unproblematic. I still don't know why he did it, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know why he did it either. But yeah, he leaked Sam's 4-story Crayola tower, and it's very fucking funny. All right, that is the end of tier 6. Guys, we are now below the icebreaker, into the deep end, where you can't see any of the ice anymore. This is all going to start to become extremely obscure. And actually, this tier is not really bad at all, but this is when it starts to become obscure stuff from 2017. We're going to start off, well, some stuff later than 2017, but you never know. We're going to start off with Redmond Jelani, or Jelani Redmond. So Jelani Redmond was African American, and she was Clemson Luke's girlfriend at the time, who I think also had autism. And yeah, they were just in a normal relationship, but people found out. The account was called Redmond Jelani. People found out about that and ended up kind of, same thing that happened to Devin Block. People started commenting on her posts, all that, yada, yada, yada. If you have a girlfriend, don't let the flipping community find your girlfriend, guys, because it's over. So, yeah. But the thing that makes this even crazier is she disappeared one time because she broke up with Clemson Luke because her parents didn't allow her to date any white guys. It's actually pretty messed up, and it's just another thing that Clemson is on here for. And this time it wasn't actually a thing that had anything to do with him. It was, unfortunately, just Redmond Jelani's parents. But yeah, that's basically where that originates from. Buddy Boy. So, when Wiley got Empty 10, he was on House Party with a group of people. And that was his most worked on flip, I'm pretty sure. And when he got it, Potato Box 900, a flipper at the time, who still flips to this day, but he took a little break, who's a pretty popular flipper, said, "Oh, Buddy Boy," and that became a massive meme. And I can give you the little brief backstory that I'll call him Harry instead of Potato Box. That Harry told me about that was the reason why Buddy Boy was a nickname. So he was in an argument, I think, with an IRL friend or something, and he called one of the people on the stream Buddy Boy. So he just kept saying it. So he was known around the school for always saying Buddy Boy, and it even translated to flipping. He calls him Buddy Boy, and everyone started saying Buddy Boy. It was a massive 2017 meme joke or whatever. Flipper Hacker. So if you were around back in 2018, even 2017, there was an account called Flipper Hacker that would go around and hack flippers' posts. And I remember being a, kid, and many of the people in the community were kids at the time, so they were impressionable. And I believed it. I was wholeheartedly terrified of Flipper Hacker. Even though Flipper Hacker is actually just a troll account made by JV Cheers, I don't think he actually did any hacking whatsoever. It was just like flippers that went and lost their account because maybe they forgot their password would just turn and blame Flipper Hacker for doing it. Oh, Flipper Hacker. And yeah, Flipper Hacker was just a troll account. I don't think he ended up actually doing that. But yeah, it was just a massive account by JV Cheers, who was a troll account back in the day. He was the guy who got first ever full two-step cap on the magazine with 2 neons. That one song's like, "The end of the lies are the broken." Next up, we have Wiley Ross. So Wiley quit flipping, and he got rid of all of his flipping posts, right? But there's an account called Flipto Reposts, which reposted all of Wiley's flips, and I think it was ran by Samcorn. So all of Wiley's flips are saved, but things that aren't saved are his raw videos. A raw video is not the edit. Just the original clip with the reaction, you could hear the people on the call or whatever. The actual raw reaction, which some people actually think is better than an edit. But yeah, so Wiley Raws are kind of extinct and they're hard to find. And many people have done a lot of attempts to try and restore as many Raws as they can. And there's some that still have not yet to have been found. I guarantee there's Wiley Raws out there that haven't been discovered that are in old group chats. Jack is one of the people who spearheads this. Jack and Paul, they both have at least over 35 Raws of Wiley. Some of them not seen before because they want to keep the clips rare. And I talked about rare clips earlier. Rare clip being not many people have the clip itself. So next up is Shots. He was an old 2017 flipper, and I think he got 6-stack. And the only reason why he was popular was because he was black, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he had any historical significance to flipping at all. He was just the first black flipper that was good. Marker Mama. So Marker Mama is an account on Instagram that still is up, and I was surprised that not many people actually knew about this. I've always known about this account, and people do, but they just don't remember it probably. It was this girl who was a marker collector, probably an older lady, because hence the name Marker Mama, where she would collect rare markers, and she wasn't a flipper or anything. She would just collect them and post them, and she would sell them too. And she had so many old expos and rare markers that are really expensive. And I'm sure I talked about old expos at the top of the iceberg. They're the best markers for flipping, and they don't make them anymore. So you can only get them off of eBay and other websites that people have bought those markers and haven't used them at all. Because obviously if you use a marker, the ink is going to get dried up, and as one of the reasons why old expos are so good is the ink tube. Also the thickness of the marker, but if you want to get a good old expo, you got to get a new old expo. And new old expo is so good, it's not even funny. Like, I gave David a completely new old Expo, and he was at disbelief on how heavy it was and bounce resistant that marker was. Because they are so heavy, they are actually, like, they're the best markers you can get. A new old Expo. And this account had probably hundreds of old Expos, and no one knew really why she did. She was a collector, so maybe she just spent a lot of money on them. And yeah, her account is still up. I don't think she posts anymore, but if you just want to kind of browse through her account and look at insanely crazy looking markers, and you can see old flippers that aren't really flipping anymore still comment on those videos back in 2017, go to the account at Marker Mama. That account is insane. I love it so much. Marker Flop giveaway. So another one of these Marker Flip official accounts, well, not official, but it was pretty well known in the community, and it was called Marker Flop, which I thought was a really cool idea. It was basically, they would only feature fails instead of actually landing the flip. So it was unique in a way. So the dude who was running the account really didn't want to run the account anymore. So he made a giveaway for it. And the person who ended up winning that giveaway was Harry, Potato Box 900, who I talked about previously in the Buddy Boy. He won it. And he started running Marker Flop, and the dude who actually ran Marker Flop was just a random. Like, no one knew who he was. I don't even think he flipped, but he was getting tired of running the account because it was a lot of work, so he just gave the account away to him. Even though it was supposed to be like a joint hosting, but the dude who actually ran the account didn't do shit. And yeah, Marker Flop was Harry. So if anyone got featured in Marker Flop back in early 2018, late 2017, towards the end of the account, it was definitely Harry who featured your video. So thank you. All right, Jackfish 4.53. Jackfish is on here again, and he claimed to have gotten 4.53 stack off camera in 2018, which is probably not true, right? But he swore by it, and I don't believe it, but, you know, it was kind of like a questionable thing because someone makes a claim that big. You kind of have to take it somewhat seriously because that was before Quad, I think. Yeah, that was before Quad had been landed, so it was kind of insane to think about at the time. Next up is Zizzle. Now, this guy was like the OG. He was so good at flips on YouTube. Like, he made a video like how to get full caps consistently or whatever. He was pretty cool. He would just do marker flip videos on YouTube, but early 2017, back when it wasn't that common. And back when stacks started to pop up, he got 5 stack. He was a good flipper. I think he made like a Mr. Beast video, like why I should be featured on Mr. Beast video recently. And it was kind of random, but yeah, Zizzle. He was an OG flipper. All right, now next up we have Unpredictable. I don't think his name was That's Unpredictable. I think that was flawed, but Unpredictable was another YouTube flipper just like Zizzle kind of. And he posted a lot of spinner sandwich flips on YouTube. He was just another YouTube flipper. But the thing that makes him even deeper on the Iceberg is he started doing video essays, kind of like this one that you're watching. And I think he has over 100,000 subscribers, and I think his username is the exact same. So if Unpredictable is watching this, leave a comment on this video. That would be awesome. Next up, we have 20.A77. Now, this is a very, very, very obscure one. And I talked about pedophiles being a part of the community. This is another one of those situations, but I felt like it deserved a deeper tier on its own. So, randomly, Muhammad flips, which was Ryman's version of GTA Shots. That stuffed animal flipper. We have like a massive joke in the community about stuffed animals flipping markers. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so Muhammad is it's just like a funny account, right? And that account started DMing Muhammad trying to get him to buy a Fortnite account. He was like, yo, can you buy a Fortnite account? And Ryman, obviously being Ryman, was trolling the dude. And he ended up making a separate group chat with, I think it was Ryman, me, and some other people. I think Grant may have been in there. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check the group chat. But we were just trolling, and this guy was not English, so he's using a translator. So we started sending Arabic things. And I think I said something cock or something penis. I think I said some dumb shit like Fuad penis or like some stupid shit. And the dude just straight up changed us from trying to get a Fortnite account to saying, ooh, penis, can you send? And we're like, what the fuck? So now we're just in a group chat with a pedophile. Like, we had no idea this guy was a pedophile. And he was really trying to persuade us, like, send me penis, send me penis, send me penis. And we were just trolling the fuck out of him. So eventually we gave up on trolling him, right? And I think a couple years later, Ryman re-DM'd the group chat as a joke. And the dude 20.A77 responded in the group chat. Like, this pedophile was still active. And he responded with a question mark. So he must have forgotten all about the encounter. But it was like, holy shit. It was a blank account too. No profile picture, like maybe 2 followers. Like, it was a new account, and the dude was still on it, and we were kind of like, what the fuck? Next up is Chukwemeka. Now, there is this guy named Chukwemeka. I was friends with Paul, right? And people will call him Ameka, but his real name was Chukwemeka, which is a very interesting African name, and we thought it was really funny, so it became a massive meme in the community. Everybody was just saying Chukwemeka, whatever. And that's kind of basically it. Full cap on the news. Now, It's not me, guys. It's not my full cap on cap. It's Braden Rhodes' fake full cap on cap. Got featured on ESPN, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not ESPN, but it was a sports channel for sure. And there's these 3 newscasters who were reacting to the video. I think 2 of them said it was fake, and 1 of them said it was real. And I think the girl said it was real. They're like, that has to be fake. That's not possible. And it was just Braden Rhodes just on the news. And the girl was like, I think that's real. And they're like, no, it's fake. It has to be fake. And this was back when I thought it was real, back in the day. Okay, marker flip faces. I don't remember when this account was made, but I think it was 2020, 2019, where there's a troll account that would feature marker flippers' faces, and a lot of people got really uncomfortable by it because they were just posting pictures of like faces from other flippers, and they're kind of just like, what is the point in this? Like, why? Yeah, it was just an account that people didn't really like. I skipped Ethan's full 6 high cap raw. So in Ethan's full 6 high cap raw, you can hear him on a call with this guy named River, and I'll talk about River later, because he has a very important involvement in one of the things in the bottom tiers. And River got first ever 7-stack tip, right? He did 4, 5, 6, 7 all in like the same 2 days or day or whatever, even though they were all fake, but we didn't think they were fake at the time. Ethan was on a call with River, and River said,
I had 2 empties on 5-stack tip, and I'm using 3 empties on 6-stack tip because
and then Ethan ended up getting full 6 high cap right when he said that. It was the same stack. So that means he used 4 empties on 7-stack tip, which is cheap because of the empty rule. And yeah, if Ethan didn't land full 6 high cap when he said that, we might have never known. Now, we would have, because we could tell with a Sharpie. So a Sharpie highlighter, we can kind of tell if it's empty because it's somewhat translucent, and we could tell that he had a translucent marker. But River could have just said, oh, yeah, but I used a full marker on the top of my 7-stack tip. He could have said that, and we would have had no way to just not count it. Well, it was fake, I'm pretty sure, with deodorant or whatever. He faked a 5-5 with deodorant. It's insane. But this was the confirmation, like, okay, confirmed. We have physical proof that this doesn't count. And Paul ended up getting the actual first ever 7-stack tip. Lil Ugly Dude and Drummer Cat. Now, this is 2 instances of animal abuse in a way. So I don't really remember what Lil Ugly Dude was doing, but I just remember him like hitting his cat or something on video, and it was kind of fucked. I don't really remember much about that. That's probably the thing on this iceberg that I know the least about. Obviously I know everything on this iceberg, but that's the least I know. But Drummer, the cat was getting in the way of the camera, and Drummer picked up the cat by his neck and like threw him behind him. It was like a kitten, and people got on his ass about that, and it's still it's still fucked. I'm not gonna lie. Joe and Peace Flips meetup. You guys probably don't know about this at all, but this happened. So FlipCon, I talked about earlier, happens whenever Pace Chord happens, because that is when Joe is able to come down to Maryland, and he can spend time with us. So our FlipCon always revolves around Pace, the last 2 they have. They might not next year, we don't know yet. Peace Flips is also a speedrunner, and he was at Pace too, so Joe actually ended up meeting up with Peace Flips. And there's a picture on Joe's Twitter. I'm pretty sure you can go check it out if you don't know. I think his Twitter's GalaxV. Cat equals pancakes. So I talked about Braden Rhodes getting on the news, and I'm going to talk about Braden for another thing. So Braden Rhodes he has a story highlight on his Instagram account about him having driving incidents. Now, some of the driving incidents were his fault, and we have kind of a meme that Braden Rhodes is a bad driver or whatever, but a lot of the things weren't his fault, like this situation. So Braden Rhodes was driving on the road, and he always films with a camera, and it was at night. And a cat just randomly ran across the road, and he just ran over the cat, which is really fucked. I would be distraught if I did that, right? But he actually ended up posting it to his story and said, "Rip to whoever's cat that was." Kind of just blowing it off like it didn't matter. And I thought that was really fucked. I'm not going to lie. And I think he also used the abbreviation cat equals pancake, and he got a lot of shit for that. He's not active in the marker flip community anymore, so I don't know if he even saw the shit that he got for that, but it was honestly kind of fucked. This is kind of the tier where things start to get a bit weirder, but it's not what you think. Well, maybe. I don't know. Fruit Loop. Now, there's a video on Jack's Extras account of Warriors for Life calling the little worm on a stick that hangs off of his ceiling a Fruit Loop. And yeah, it just became a massive meme in the community, kind of like, what could I give an example? Buddy Boy. It's something like that, but this one's a bit more obscure. But yeah, I don't know if the video is still up. It might be, so yeah. Griffin's 3 number 4.5s raw. Now, this honestly could be deeper. I landed 3 number 4.5s, and it was my best flip ever, right, at the time. This was in 2018. I was going for 2, and I got 30. And if you just watch the video, I started screaming my ass off, and you could just tell that the raw would have been insanely loud. I hated this raw so much. I never sent it to anyone. I never posted it anywhere. but I'm pretty sure I sent it into a group chat at one point because Nico made like a fake edit with it where it like you could hear the raw, but it was also overlapped with music, meaning that, and that wasn't me who made that video, I'm pretty sure, or maybe I did, I don't know, meaning that someone had the raw at one point. And I'm pretty sure I sent this raw to a group chat. And there has been a search party for the last 3 to 4 years trying to find that raw, and it's come up empty-handed. People have gone through every group chat, iMessage group chats, their camera rolls, every Instagram chat that they're a part of, that I'm a part of, and still no one has turned up with the raw. And I am pretty sure it's out there somewhere. I put a $20 bounty on that raw, so whoever finds that raw gets paid $20. We'll have to see if that raw ever turns up. If that raw turns up, it will be one of the coolest things I'll ever see, because this is lost media. No one has this. So I talked about MarkerFlip eDots earlier, and MarkerFlip eDots was the biggest troll account ever. It was a 9-stack feature account, it was an Android Flips account, and it was MarkerFlip eDots, and now it is Zibzar, which was a massive troll account where I pretended to be someone, Grant and I, and we kind of just pretended to be someone, and we started posting really funny shit, and we just started trolling people with the account. That account I still have access to, but I'm not active on it anymore to kind of just make it look like it's a lost piece of history. But yeah, Zibzar is still an account, and I used it to troll a bunch of people back in the day, and it still exists. Jensen jumps. Now, 2017, there was a flipper named the Jensen76, I think. He got first ever double four. Pretty legendary flip. And he used to jump around a lot back in the day. Like, in his reaction, he would just jump up and down and up and down and up and down. And yeah, it started to become a thing called Jensen jumps. Little inside joke. Whenever someone started jumping around in the raw, people would just call it Jensen jumps. It's kind of funny. Jack's triple to a quad. Now, this one is mysterious and interesting in a way. This tier is a very mysterious tier. And Jack landed back-to-back triples in 2017, and he posted it, but the quality was really bad. People started watching the videos back and realized that Jack low-key rotated it a bit more than a triple. People started to think that Jack got the world's first back-to-back quads without even realizing it back in the day. There was this whole thing about it, like, oh my god, Jack got back-to-back quads first ever. It wasn't, who even got back-to-back quads first ever? I know Warriors did it empty, but it was with a bunch of, like, tape and shit on it. I don't know, but people were like, Jack got first ever back-to-back quads and shit. And this post, if you want to watch it, it's not on Jack's account. So this makes it even more mysterious, and I don't think Jack ever wants to unarchive it. There was a big debate. People thought, no, it was a triple, it was a quad, whatever. So people just decided on the fact that it was a triple to a quad, just so it wouldn't alter any history. And I'm pretty sure it was a triple to a quad, but we never know. Another thing we never know to this day is John's back-to-back 13 stack. So on John's regular 13, he posted it, but he also mentioned that he got a 13 stack again, first try, after he posted, like, he got it, right? Saved the recording, trimmed it, whatever. Then tried another attempt and got it back to back. But he didn't come up with this realization until years later. He posted it and said, I got another 13 stack, I could try later, lol, after I already got the first one. He says, he's something like it. He's like, I got another one, first try the recording, next recording, or something like that. And a couple years later, he just sent it to the army chat and said, I got first ever back-to-back 13. This was back-to-back. And it was kind of abrupt. I feel like he would have known if he actually got back-to-back 13 back in the day when he got it. But he randomly brought it up years later, which is very mysterious about it, which is why people don't really talk about it too often. And both of these were on camera, but he stopped recording in between them, meaning it doesn't count, obviously. We can't just take his word for it. John could have gotten world's first back-to-back 13 stack. No one has landed that still to this day. People have gotten 12 and empty 12, but still it is unsolved, and All Film's account. So All Film, I'd mentioned him earlier with the Nico house party dance video up here. He was a flipper that was in my friend group, and he was pretty good. But his mom and dad didn't let him have Instagram, so he'd post stuff on YouTube. But he really wanted to post on Instagram because that's where everybody is. Go to Instagram, guys, if you want to become a flipper. Like, don't be a YouTube flipper. And basically, All Film couldn't get the account, so he compromised with Trickshot Studio, who were friends from school. And they ended up making Trickshot Studio. He made an All Film account. So he started running that account. And it ended up being, just people thought it was All Film, but no, the whole time Trickshot Studio was running All Film's account. All Film got first ever 3-0 double caps while going for 2, but it was with guardsmen, so it doesn't count, unfortunately. But he was pretty legendary. He got some good stuff. He got like full 6, whatever. And Jack Fish, I'm mentioning him again, and he's also coming up later in this tier too, started flirting with the account, I guess in a joke way. He could have maybe deadass had a crush on All Film at the time, but no one knows. He made a group chat and he tried to get All Film to join VC, but obviously, All Film wasn't active on the account. It was Trickshot Studio, and they didn't want to give that secret away. They were deadass, like, extremely secure about that secret. But I can tell you guys now because it's been years, right? And yeah, All Film didn't join the group chat call because Trickshot Studio was running the account. Quinn and Jack Fish, I think it was Jack Fish, used to say some really sus shit to the account, flirting kind of in a way. So still to this day, I don't even know if he knows this. Jack Fish, thinking he was flirting with All Film, was actually flirting with Trickshot Studio, a completely different person. Ethan Stacks. I'm going to let you guys on a little secret here. Almost all of Ethan's flips don't count because Ethan would use 7, 8 empties on like a 12 stack. You're probably thinking, what the fuck? The only 2 flips that Ethan says were not with a ton of empties is his full 9 and full empty 8, both first ever. Because Braylon got full empty 8, but he never showed that the bottom marker was empty. He just showed the bottom of the marker. Like you empty a marker, you pop the bottom out. He said, this is the bottom I use in the marker, guys, I swear. But he never actually showed that the bottom stack was empty, so I don't think it counts. Ethan got first ever full empty 8 and full 9 because he claims that they didn't have a ton of empties or whatever. Do with that what you will. I'm sure you can make conclusions with that. Ethan also cheaped double 6 with 4 empties too, but he's admitted that. But yeah, almost all of Ethan's stacks, even 11 high cap was fake. He used magnets on 11 high cap. He used a ton of empties on empty 13s. He used a ton of empties on 12 stacks back in the day. And yeah, a lot of his account is just a lie, except his full 9, which was first ever, and full empty 8, which he claims. So Braylon Gore. Now, I got a ton of people DMing me, what the fuck is Braylon Gore? After this Iceberg was actually leaked. It was leaked beforehand by the flipping community. Someone leaked it. Not gonna say who, but it's fine. Whatever. You're watching this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. Braylon at one point sent a bunch of gore to the First Army chat to the point where people were like, dude, stop. He's like, I have worse and more stuff, right? Like, trying to be edgy or whatever, and it was really fucked. Braylon was the guy who got full MT8 but didn't show the bottom, right? He sent a bunch of, and the only thing I can really remember was a guy cutting his ear off and eating it. And he said he had worse videos, but he never sent the worst videos to the chat. Thank fuck. RP 12 stack. RP flips, Ralphie, is on here 3 times. And this is the first time he's on this Iceberg. So he was pretty involved in deeper shit in this Iceberg. So he faked first ever empty 11 and regular 12 stack with magnets. And yeah, at the time, people thought they were real. But he also faked World's First 5 stack with blue. His whole account was pretty much fake. And yeah, I just thought I had to put it on because it was a first ever 12 stack, but it was fake. The person who actually got the World's First 12 stack was Eli, pretty sure. Jack getting second ever. Was Wiley's cap on cap first ever? There's something on a lower tier that we'll talk about that has to do with this, kind of, but not to what I'm kind of trying to lead it. So Wiley got the World's First regular cap on cap, right, in 2018. I think it was March 2018. And people have been faking cap on cap since 2017. I honestly could make an entire separate video about this, and it wouldn't be obviously as long as this. It would probably only be like 10 to 30 minutes. But if you guys want to see a video of a flipping theory video on this, leave a comment that you guys want to see it. But yeah, Wiley's cap on cap. So many people did cap on caps throughout the course of 2017 and even early 2018 that were fake. Right? Out of all the thousands of cap on caps that were fake, could there be a real one out there that had been landed before Wiley's? We will never know because most of the people either have their flips deleted or they're just, you can't get in contact with the person anymore. There are so many cap on caps out there. There could be a chance that at least one of them were real and Wiley's cap on cap would have not been first ever and it would completely alter flipping history when it comes to cap on caps to this date. And I honestly could pull up some real-looking fake cap on caps that I've seen from back in the day. One of them was Trickshot King, who I will talk about later in this Iceberg. He landed a very real-looking cap on cap that he admitted to being fake. I guarantee he could have said that was real, and we would have counted it as world's first. There could be a real cap on cap out there, but we will never know. And that's just a theory, a flipping theory. Jackfish Child. Yes, so Jackfish was recently active in a group chat. I think it was called Chat of Bullshit, where Mellow Flips just sends a lot of really random memes to it and packs people like Pack God. But that's that. I'm getting off topic. Jackfish said in the group chat that he was having a child. Yeah, the first flipper that I know of recently that grew up as a kid in 2018 that is having a kid. That is fucking insane to think about. Braden Rhodes full cap on cap raw. Now, I've mentioned Braden Rhodes full cap on cap a lot, and it was a fake full cap on cap with glue or magnets. I'm not really sure what he used, but it was fake. It was obviously fake. I think it was glue because he never faked any flips with magnets, so I'm pretty sure he used glue. But yeah, this was like an iconic moment in flipping history. Obviously, it got on the news. It was just legendary. But the raw was recently discovered by SRS. SRS, if you're watching this, please respond to my DM. I DM'd you, how did you obtain this raw with Paul? And I could honestly make a separate video on this called How the Most Infamous Flip in Flipping History's Lost Media Was Recovered. And I actually could make a video on that if I'm given the proper information to do that. This video's raw footage was found, like the first 5 seconds of it, which is absolutely insane to think about. No one knows how on earth they could have claimed to find this video. He was rarely active in the flipping community at all, and he never posted it anywhere. Also done in 2017, early 2017, I'm pretty sure. This RAW had to have been lost at the time, but it was discovered. And is definitely the rarest RAW that has ever been uncovered in flipping history, for sure. Now, I will say, however, there have been some skepticisms on the legitimacy of this RAW being real or fake. The clip is only like 5 seconds long. And all you can hear in the video is him landing it and covering his mouth and going like, he made a sound like, which was him probably just giving a fake reaction. Now, the clip in the original edit was also only 5 seconds long, so this could be that. But honestly, if you think about it, this probably isn't really hard to forge. You could honestly line up sounds. Line up the sound of a cap-on-cap landing on a notebook and make a fake reaction. Like, this very well could have been forged. Now, I'm not going to say my opinion on it. It seems pretty legit to me, but you never know. It's been a big theory in the flipping community about this actually being the real RAW. And I DM'd SRS, the dude who found it, about it. And I'm trying to get into contact with him on how I can maybe, go in and verify that this is a real video and kind of talk about the history on how they found it. But, yeah, that's tier 8. Welcome to the final 2 tiers. We are in the black, fully deep. And this is when it starts to get a bit more dark. I'm sure you can just tell by the wording. So if you're easily sensitive, don't maybe not watch this part, but you'll be fine, I think. I'm just going to be honest. And I can guarantee there's not a single person watching this that didn't help with the iceberg, at least to a certain degree, that knows every single one of these things in these bottom 2 tiers. I can guarantee the only person that actually probably knows about all of these is Duncan. Or maybe Jack. Without me telling them about these. So, yeah. We're going to start off with the most touched marker. So, Ham Bottle Flips had an old expo that he sent to John. No, John had an old expo that he sent to Ham Bottle Flips. Ham Bottle Flips had a marker that he sent to Ethan. Now, I don't really know if that is 100% accurate. We might be able to exclude John from this situation, but we know for sure that Ham Bottle Flip sent this old expo to Ethan. Ethan gave it to me. It was on the bottom of a random 5 he had, but it ended up being a really good marker. And every single flipper that I met up with to today, except Carl, has touched this marker, making it the most touched marker by marker flippers in history. Now, next one is Alex threatening Nico. I've been told about this situation by a couple people, and I don't remember this. So if I get this incorrect, don't blame me, because I'm not really sure. As I'm sure you know, rumors get spread kind of like the telephone game, where you talk to somebody, and by the end of it, it's completely different. That's kind of how it goes, so I don't know. But there's a video of Alex shooting a gun, and it said, "Me when I see Nico," implying that he was going to murder Nico if he ever saw him, as like a joke, right? I kind of laughed at it, but I don't think Nico really cared, but it's kind of fucked up. But also it's funny. I don't know. It's just something I thought I would talk about. Unknown best ever. Now, whoever ran this Markerflip repost account stumbled upon a little black kid who got a full skinny expo tip, which if you know anything about flipping, you know that those are the skinniest tip you can get that you can land, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, he got that in like June or April 2017, which was by far better than anything that had been landed at the time, except maybe Double 3. If Double 3 had been landed before that, then it wasn't unknown best ever, but it was unknown second best ever. So yeah, so this flip had been existing for so long, no one knowing about its existence whatsoever. Pretty cool to think about. The Instagram hacking situation. Now, there was a point in time in 2017 where a bunch of flippers' accounts were just getting lost. They were getting logged out or even deleted, I'm pretty sure. And no one knew why this was happening. People thought everyone's accounts were being hacked in the flipping community, but I'm pretty sure this was an Instagram incident with many accounts. I never got affected by this, and I don't even remember this, but I was brought light of this situation by Harry and Jack. Jack being one of the people whose accounts ended up getting confiscated, or he got logged out. And many accounts were just gone, and no one knew why. It's pretty interesting. No one still knows why to this day, actually. But back in the day, us being little kids, we were freaking out. We were like, oh my god, everyone's accounts are being hacked. Oh my god. And yeah, ended up being that. Next up, the old First Army. Now, this is the group chat that not Paul was admin, but I think Cam was admin of this one. This group chat was pretty fucking wild. There was so many racist things sent into this group chat. So many naked pictures of people and porn that were sent to this group chat. I got a lot of shit in this group chat, too, back in the day. I got kicked from this group chat for being quote-unquote gay. Even I'm not gay, though, so I don't know why they did that. I'm straight. But, yeah, basically all I really have to say about it. A lot of fucked up shit was sent in that group chat. Now, Swiffers on a Marshall Repost account ended up discovering a bottle flip that was landed way before anyone else had been flipping bottles like that dude on the stage, and found a video of a dude getting a full Crayola cap in July 2016, before marker flipping was a big trend. It is widely known that CS Clips landed the first ever marker flip, but that's actually not true. It was this guy at the time of this recording, July 1st, 2024. That is the first marker flip that has ever been discovered, and it was a full Crayola cap. Yeah, so CS Clips didn't actually land the first marker flip. He got the first ever Expo flip that we know of, but not the first ever marker flip in general. I honestly could have put this one in the bottom tier, but I didn't. Max the Flipper was a flipper back in 2018 who he would fake everything. He faked everything. And back in 2018, there's a lot of fake flips being landed still. To this day, no one really fakes anymore because we kind of just all agree that it's scummy. But Max the Flipper would fake a lot. But there was this time where he would go live. He used to go live all the time. But he was live streaming naked while flipping, according to sources. And people asked him, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you naked? And he said, I'm waiting for my boyfriend to come over. This kid was like 11 or 12 at the time, which is obscene. Why is he flipping naked? To think, like, why? That is insane. But yeah, only a couple people got to see this. I'm pretty sure Cam and Ethan were two prime victims to having to see this very, very sad thing. Yeah. I'm just going to go over to Adrian live because Adrian and Max the Flipper did the exact same thing. They were naked on live stream. Adrian was a flipper. I don't remember. He was just really a weird flipper that was not from the USA and didn't really speak much English. But yeah, both of these situations are basically the same, so I'm just going to cover them like that. Next up is Warriors Empty Cap on Cap. Now, Warriors Empty Cap on Cap was first ever cap on cap that was considered real by a lot of the community. But after a while, people ended up calling it fake. And Ethan's ended up being crowned as the actual first ever empty cap on cap. And, okay, Warriors Empty Cap on Cap to this day wouldn't count because there's a ton of tape on it, and you can't really put tape on empty markers. But the quality was kind of poor, and you can't really tell if it was real. It does look pretty fake when you look at it. And Warriors for Life did have a history of faking and cheaping his flips, so many people don't count it. But in a recent DM with Jack had asked Warriors for Life about his fake flips, and he basically admitted to everything that he faked. Faked his, what did he fake? His full six, his 8 stack, all that stuff. He admitted to faking all of it. But he claimed and he said he swore that he faked so many other flips, he cheaped so many flips, but he swore that that flip was real. And he still to this day defends that his empty cap on cap was real. And there would be no point in him really to lie about it, right? If you think about it. He's moved on from flipping way past it. He doesn't give a fuck about it. Why would he lie about it? Think about it. That could have been the actual real world's first cap on cap, just in general. Obviously, it was empty and Wiley's was non-empty, but this was before Wiley's. This could be the world's first cap on cap of any sort, even if it was cheap. It was still a cap on cap with expos. This could be the actual world's first cap on cap, as I mentioned up here. We don't know. Still to this day, is a mystery, and no one has a confirmed definitive answer, and I don't think we ever will have it. Next up is DMZ Neckme School Shooter Threat. Now, DMZ Neckme is a popular flipper on TikTok. He has like 20k, maybe 50k followers, and he still posts videos on TikTok, but I don't think his videos really pop off that much anymore. It's just how TikTok algorithm goes. We know about it, right? And he got expelled from school because he threatened to shoot up a school on his flipping Instagram story. I'm pretty sure that's all I can really say on this topic. It doesn't really go any deeper than that. he posted a story of him saying he was going to shoot up a school or implied it or something. I don't remember the exact story, but he ended up getting expelled for posting that on the story. Jack's secret comeback. Now, I'm sure you know, Jack did make a comeback in 2020, late 2019. And I remember being on a FaceTime call with John, Insane Trick Shots. He was the best flipper at the time. I talked about him with his back-to-back 13. And he told me in summer 2018, because Jack had quit in 2018, early 2018, he told me that Jack was going to make a secret comeback to flips multiple months before Jack actually came back. And once Jack came back, I thought, wow, John was right. Jack did, he was planning a secret comeback, and he did come back to flips. I'm still great friends with Jack to this day. So I asked Jack, John told me that you were going to come back a while ago. And he said, I never told John at all about that I was going to come back. I didn't even have a secret comeback planned whatsoever. And it was like, what? How did John know that Jack was going to come back before Jack even knew himself? Obviously, it's a coincidence, right? That John made up some lie, or someone told John a lie and he just was simply passing the information on that Jack was going to come back when Jack didn't even know about this thing that people were talking about. And Jack still came back anyway. So it was obviously a coincidence, but it's kind of crazy how this coincidence happened. Just saying a random flipper is going to come back to flips and them actually coming back that we thought would have never came back in a million years is insanely crazy to think about. That is probably the craziest coincidence in the flipping community that I know of right now. Because it's a coincidence, guys. Let's be real. Or maybe Jack was lying and he did have a secret comeback planned. I don't know. But it's kind of crazy. I was given that information before that even happened. I don't know. Really weird. And you can even ask Nathan or Ethan. I know they remember this. Maybe not Nathan, but Ethan definitely does. And that was tier 9. Okay, I cannot believe I forgot to put this situation in here, but it is such a quintessential piece of information that literally caused this entire iceberg to even begin in the first place. And it's called Pray for John. Now, Pray for John was a situation that happened back in 2017 by this guy named TB Shots 4 and his friend John. Now, John got the world's first 1.54 stack back in the day, which is a really good multi-stack at the time. And TB Shots basically said, my friend John has been shot in the head and he's dead. And everybody was like, what? Like, obviously, most people were like, what the fuck? And somehow no one really questioned it at this point. It was insane. But yeah, so after he was, said he was dead and all that, randomly out of nowhere, he just started to change his story a little bit. He said he was in critical condition now. People were like, what? And he was actually still alive, just in a coma. People were like, what the fuck? Now, River did a good, kind of post about this on his account that's still up. I'm going to flash a picture up right now. And this Pray for John name came from this hashtag that was called hashtag Pray for John. And people were like, pray for John, let's hope he lives, and all this stuff. People were really fucking worried about this guy. And then he ended up waking up from his coma. And people were like, oh my God, let's go. But obviously, as most people should be, people ended up starting to get kind of curious and questioning the legitimacy of these claims. People looked into it a bit more and kind of started pestering the guy who made the thing, and it ended up being a complete hoax. TB Shots 4 completely made this shit up. Maybe John knew, maybe John didn't know about this. He probably did if he was a part of the community and was probably behind it too. But yeah, he ended up faking his own death with TB Shots, and once he started to come back and people said like, oh, he's actually alive, people jumped on him, people got so fucking mad. He ended up leaving the community because of this. Not Nico. Nico was not the first. It was this motherfucker. This motherfucker left the community after all this shit went down, and it is a massive piece of information that I cannot believe I left out. I just need to talk about it. But yeah, keep watching the video, keep enjoying the video. Last tier, let's go. Now we are on the bottom tier of the iceberg. All of these topics I've gone through, and if you have stayed all the way to the end of this video to watch the bottom tiers of the iceberg, I congratulate you for sticking through this entire video. I'm sure there's definitely people out there that have, and thank you for watching this video in full, because holy shit, I've been recording this for a collective total of about 2.5 to 3 hours, just talking about marker flip events in the community. Not all in a row, obviously, but I've taken a couple days to record all these, and these are going to be edited as well. So yeah, thank you for sticking through all the way to the very bottom. But I'm not going to bore you anymore with all this sugar coating of thank you so much. Let's get into the bottom of the iceberg right now. First up, we have RP's first ever back-to-back quads. I guarantee no one really knows about this. I guarantee no one really knows about many of these things. So RP, he faked empty 11. He faked 12 stack, right? And he's been on here before, and he's going to be on here later when you see the RP LG trick shot incident. Ralphie claims he landed the world's first back-to-back quads, but they were out of frame. He claims that he got that real, but it was out of frame. so we can't verify. This is definitely fake, right? But the fact that he even would try and fake something this obscure is wild. I don't understand. TL Hip. So TL was a flipper that was good friends with Jack, and he was a good flipper back in 2018. 2017, sorry. He got double five. He landed a bunch of stuff. He faked an empty cap on cap, but we're just gonna ignore that, right? But yeah, TL was a good flipper, and he landed 8 stack back in the day. And in his 8 stack roll, he was jumping around, whatever, and he actually broke his hip while reacting. Like, this is real. Like, no one knows about this except Jack and Duncan, I'm pretty sure. If you know about this and I haven't told you, that is fucking insane that you remember this. Because I didn't even know this. Yeah, he broke his hip. That is crazy to me. In a reaction. Like, he was just reacting and he broke his hip. No one has ever done that, let's be real. That is fucking absurd to think about. RP LG Trick Shots Incident. So this will be the last time I talk about RP, Ralphie, because he was in quite a bit of controversy. So, according to sources, he got on a house party call with another flipper named LG Trick Shots. I think she was like fucking 11. Her account is still up, by the way, if you want to watch her flips. I think she landed like Expo Cap on nickel or whatever, and some other stuff. But RP, when on call, took his shorts off and underwear, stripped naked, and shoved a marker up his ass. That is what I've heard from people. That is absolutely insane. And the thing that makes it even crazier is this isn't even the last time I'm going to talk about someone shoving a marker in their ass. Yeah, look at all of this. Look at the rest of these things. One of these things also has that included too. This is a really disgusting thing to think about, and I'm pretty sure this is what prompted him to actually be canceled. And he actually got canceled before Nico. I'm pretty sure I said Nico was the first official cancel of the flipping community. That was not true. This, I'm pretty sure, was the first ever time someone really got exiled from the community. He also did a lot of weird things. I'm pretty sure he showed porn. He sent porn to Quinn, Trick Shots Academy, or sent like his penis to him. And yeah, he was surrounded with a lot of controversy back in 2017, and he's gone now. That was the last time he's going to be featured on here. But he's been on this Iceberg a lot in the bottom tiers. Dolphin flips found. No one knows about this. And I'm going to keep the people who are part of this anonymous because looking back, it's not really good. I don't know why they did this. But Dolphin Flips was a flipper back in 2017. He landed a 7 stack, and he has this really funny picture of him with like a double chin saying like Merry Christmas or something. And basically a group of flippers decided to try and find him. Not actually go to his house or whatever, but find his personal information, maybe find his address or see what he's up to now. And they conducted a whole operation on trying to find Dolphin Flips and ended up finding his address, his parents' names, what he looks like now, family photos of him and stuff. And I don't think Dolphin Flips knows about this at all. Marker Flip King paralyzed. I mentioned Marker Flip King earlier in the Was Wiley's Cap on Cap first ever. He faked a cap on cap. That's mainly what he's known for. I think he also got like a pretty iconic 3-stack cap, but I could be misremembering that. I'm just going to focus about his cap on cap. So he got cap on cap, and it looked really real, but it was fake. He's very known. I've heard from some people that he is paralyzed now. I'm pretty sure people have told me it was from a trampoline incident, but that is me remembering off of something someone told me years ago. So don't go off of that. I've just known that people have told me that Marker Flip King is paralyzed from the neck or waist down, which is really fucked, and I feel really bad if that's actually the case. This could be a hoax, but that's why it's at the bottom of the iceberg. A lot of these things aren't confirmed, but a lot of them actually are. Some of them aren't confirmed. This is one of those mysteries that isn't confirmed, really. And still to this day, no one actually knows if Marker Flip King got paralyzed. Clemson Luke was at the top of the iceberg. And now Clemson Luke is at the bottom of the iceberg. As you can see, he's up here. Why is he down here? Now, if you're a part of the flipping community, you know about this, right? If you're not a part of the flipping community, you don't know. So Clemson Luke, obviously the second or third most followed marker flipper ever on TikTok. He did the naked frisbee shot, and he has been talked about the most on this iceberg by far out of anyone. And honestly, I said earlier, I can make an entire iceberg about him. This is the worst thing he's done. So I talked about the naked frisbee shot, but he has a lot of friends that are children. He's like 20, and he has a lot of friends that are 10 to 12 years old. And he went live one time on Instagram, in just underwear and like stripped and showed his penis to the live stream. He also was in contact with a lot of gay pedophiles and would add random people to group chats full of gay pedophiles where people would send porn, even some child porn, I'm pretty sure, and just really disgusting videos. And I was unfortunately one of those people that got added to some of those group chats, and I've seen things that are really fucked, and it's honestly fucking messed up. Clemson Luke has gone insane. As I talked about, the change of Clemson Luke was the downfall to his insanity, and now this is the lowest of the low. He sent his penis to people under the age of 18. He is, yeah. Next up, Jackfish deleted posts. Now, I am the only person that can actually talk about this because I was one of the only people that actually remembers these. Maybe there's someone else out there. There's someone that might vaguely remember. I think Cam might vaguely remember. But to my knowledge, I remember two videos posted to Jackfish's Instagram account, which, to be fair, are pretty, Jackfish behavior. He posted a video of him on House Party with this guy named Callistical and two other people shoving a marker up his ass. It was an expo, I know it was, and just really fucking disgusting. I just remember this being posted. And then another time, I remember more like nudes of him were posted on his account in like slow-mo, and it had like a beat drop, but it was him kind of like glute spreading in a way, but I don't know if you can call it that. It was just him. It might have not been him. It could have been someone else that was naked, but it was posted to Jackfish's account with like an edit. And I remember on the beat drop, he changed the filter to duotone, that one iMovie filter that turns yellow and purple. I'm pretty sure he did. That's the filter. But I just remember multiple instances of porn being posted to his Instagram account. I remember checking the comment sections, and I would see his friends comment like heart eye emojis and shit. And it was really fucking weird. Yeah. Now, this one's also speculation. Spike Trickshot's sex tape. I don't think this is actually true. But Spike Trickshots was a flipper who was in the Army chat. He got second ever back-to-back 5.0. Really fucking good. People have told me he sent his sex tape to the First Army, but I've also been told by other people that he didn't, but he sent nudes to the First Army of his quote-unquote girlfriend, who was, I think, 13 or 14 at the time. More child pornography sent to the First Army chat. And he was thinking about sending more, but people told him, like, what the fuck? This is fucked up. And, yeah. That's all I really know about it. I'm going off of one source here. So this could be completely bogus, but I do remember something along the lines of this very vague in the back of my mind, but I'm not too sure, and I'm not too positive. So this is another speculation one, kind of like Market Flip King Paralyzed. But yeah, that's what I've just been told. Now, we are at the last thing on the iceberg, and I thought it was fitting to make this the last thing on the iceberg. Marker Flip Real Identity. Now, back in 2017, obviously, Marker Flip was the most commonly featured account on Instagram. But he went live one time and started guesting a bunch of people. And I'm pretty sure he didn't really show his face, but at one point he did. And I remember him having blonde hair, but somehow this live stream is nowhere. No one has the video of this live stream. But, so we went live, he guessed it with a bunch of flippers. I had to go to bed at this point. Because he was live, like, pretty late, like, I think it was like 11. And I had school the next day, and my parents wouldn't let me stay up. But yeah, Marker Flip's Real Identity, no one really knows about it. But there have been accounts that have been sent to group chats of people that could be him. There's this one account that Marker Flip that we know of. I'm not going to say the Instagram account right now because I don't want people to harass the account. There's an account followed by Marker Flip that is only followed by Marker Flip. Only has like a couple thousand followers, maybe not even 1,000 followers. And Harry, who remembers the live stream very vividly, says that the dude in the profile picture looks like it could have been what he saw in that live stream. So we have an idea on who Marker Flip really was, but we are not 100% certain if that was actually him. And I don't want you guys going to harass the dude saying, are you Marker Flip or whatever? Because I don't want him to be spammed and just for his own personal being. I'm not going to say who it is, but we have an idea on someone who realistically could possibly be the person who was running the @MarkerFlip account on Instagram back in the day, the most iconic marker flipping account in history. And I think that is a good way to capitalize and end off of this massive iceberg that I've been talking about for hours. Every single thing, and there's things that were maybe left out of here that could have been added. If there's anything, make sure you leave a comment. But yeah, this is the Marker Flip Iceberg explained. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoy this type of video and you want to see more content from me relating to marker flips, or maybe even not. I will read every comment on this video. This took weeks of preparation from people sending me ideas, editing the video, filming all of this. And yeah, I would like to just give a big thanks to anyone who helped out with this massive iceberg. And yeah, thanks for watching. I have to take a shit so bad. Editor, just cut out all that.